Good morning and welcome back to a group stage here for TI10. Lacoste joining me once again as we get ourselves started on this early morning. Beautiful day in Romania as we've got SG up against Fnatic, Lacoste.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I think both teams are showing what they are made of. Not Fnatic coming into this tournament, coming into DPC Season 1, Season 2, I think they, as an organization, as the players, they had high expectations, had to swap things around a little bit, but I feel they're in a good spot right now. They managed to get through 2 draws yesterday, and we can see some of the weaknesses, but we can see a lot of positive stuff coming out from Fnatic, especially that his Tidehunter
Oh
was
yeah.
pretty impressive, like ravaging people, coming in 4 or 5 man ravages in the yesterday's game, and also not allowing Wisp to tether anyone. He was just like not hesitating at all. That's what I want to see in a pro player, being able to understand like all the possible scenarios that could happen and
Picking their moments.
exactly, and just shut him down completely.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. And then SG, we saw them through the first couple of seasons of DPC, and they struggled, honestly. They looked like the third or even fourth best team in South America, but then coming through the qualifiers and starting to pick up pace. You look at some of these players, Tavo in particular, we've talked about. He looks like, a tournament winner, a real game winner as well when he's on certain heroes. It's going to be interesting to see how they continue to perform here in the group stage as well, as drafting has been a problem with them over the DPC, but they're finding their rhythm.
They have their own style in terms of picking, but I see them also adjusting to, let's call it TI meta
Yeah.
after day one, where we've seen the different ways how to amplify your carry. Mostly it's been Tiny position 1, Lycan on the off lane,
Mm.
get that Helm, and then get the Aghanim Scepter, bite the Tiny with the Cleave.
And the
It works.
crit.
It's just insane amount of damage with the Echo Saber. You can one-shot people, and this is something that they've done in the yesterday's game. Unfortunately, they lost both of their games, lost the series. But to go back to Fnatic a little bit, they seem to love the Night Stalker. I'm on the Night Stalker
Yeah.
hype train. Check the stats for the Night Stalker. Unfortunately, not one of the highest ones. He's at 16% win rate out of 6 games, so not the greatest one. There are also some of the heroes that stand out in terms of being banned in the first phase, like Monkey King, Tiny, IO, goes for win rate percentages for some of the heroes with 100% win rate over 5 games. Ember Spirit is the one that is on top. Tidehunter 66%
Mm.
picked 15 times. So some of these heroes, like we can see which heroes are the first pick material. Monkey King, Tiny, IO. We see a lot of Weaver. Pretty much the heroes that can be flexed.
Yeah, and especially when you're flexing them across multiple roles, right? Like the
Yes.
Tidehunter, we saw Thompson playing mid, as well as, of course, the classic offlane Tide. We've heard, again, whispers of these IOs and Undyings moving from support into like position 3 potentially, but hasn't really crossed our screens just yet. So maybe something that will come in the latter stages of the group stage, maybe even into playoffs. But I think we're all expecting these big team fight heroes, right?
Oh,
TI
yes.
is always the time of your Earthshakers, your Enigmas, your Tide Hunters to come in, win a team fight, and win the game for you.
We were talking before coming into this series, talking about Tavo. Maybe it's time to bring his Enigma. Enigma got nerfed. I've seen in high level pubs position 5, position 4 Enigma, even though it got nerfed, but you go for a different kind of a build, maybe 1 point max 2 in demonic conversion,
Mm.
and then you just go for the stun kind of a build. If you need a BKB, get a BKB blink. I'm also a big fan of Etherland, something that has been done before. I believe Jin Q was the first one doing it.
A pioneer.
Yeah, pretty much. He's the inventor. He invents a lot of the builds.
Yeah, because I think we saw position 5 Enigma DPC season 1 for SA. KJ was one of the ones that kind of kicked that off, where you just have this self-sustaining carry, you just deny a creep every wave, and then
It got nerfed from
yeah.
30 to 45 seconds. It was a big nerf. One of the reasons why we don't see Enigma that often as a position 4 or 5.
Doesn't come up that often anymore. But yeah, something SG has struggled with a little bit over the past few months has been attributing their farm to their 3 cores. When you mention that Tavo Enigma, you quite often think, well, he's going to be
Oh,
greedy.
he
He's
loves
going to
that
soak
gold.
up all of the gold on the map, right? And he becomes their position 1. He is the carry in many senses of the term. And that does mean that, Adriano and Costabil do lose out a little bit when you extend these games out. But yeah, I think they're finding their feet here, not giving him such greedy heroes and starting to realize that, if you give this mid laner and a safe laner a little bit more, 5% more farm here or there, they will carry the game for you.
They will. Feels like there is this trend. Teams are trying to find a way how to amp up their carry. We've seen Ogre being also relatively popular. We've seen Legion Commander, hero with, I believe, also 66% win rate. You have the Spell, you have a good laning stage. There are a couple of heroes that Legion does not like to lane into. We saw yesterday Razor as a good counter to completely shut him down. And overall, the hero provides you with BKB piercing ability, which is always going to be good. That shard, one of the better ones. I said it again. You know, there's a lot of good shards in my top 5.
Like 20 of them.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you mentioned the Razor. That's something we saw from Raven, right? He was the
Yes.
Razor up against that Legion. And it's also an indication that Fnatic aren't scared to switch things up in terms of moving Raven from what we used to see him on, the Terrorblades, the Spectres, into more of that tempo-setting carry.
Yes. It's not your traditional carry, but they played extremely fast. They also had Jabs, who played Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a position for
He
Nature's
rushed
Prophet.
Ags.
He rushed the Spirit Vessel to deal with Io and then went for Ags. So you transition into this semi-carry. Also, his warding was really on point, being able to TP around the map, set up the vision, which gave them a lot of kills and allowed Chuan to go in and make some big zips with the Storm Spirit.
Yeah. And that's something you bring up as well with the Bounty Hunter we've seen previously, the Weaver, the Nature's Prophet.
Anything that provides you vision or can set you up. We see a lot of global presence coming out. 2 games yesterday. Virtus.pro also played Dawnbreaker with Bounty Hunter. With their was it also Relocate or was it on the other team?
I can't remember now.
Yeah,
it was a long day yesterday.
It was a long day.
But
we
yeah,
saw a lot of
definitely
games,
had
but
the ability just to go across the map and find people.
But also just providing vision for Storm Spirit, your Nature's Prophet, deeping in, relocate type of the plays. This seems to be very popular at the moment.
Yeah, that map control and, you know, looking at the way OG's been playing, right? Map control seems to be such an important part of the game. Yes, lanes matter. Yes, team fights matter. But if you're forcing team fights in certain areas of the map, you know, OG playing on the doorstep of their opponents, even though they're 8, 10k net worth behind, you're still not giving that opening, that door towards victory for them.
One thing I realized that numbers in Dota, they don't matter apparently. MMR is just a number.
Kills are just a number.
Kills are just a number. Also, you can be down 10k. Doesn't matter if you know what you're doing. Like if you're stacking, I think OG is a good example where they lose the laning stage. They manage to come back even though they're 5, 10k gold down. They can still fight back, and they are the ones who are taking initiative.
Yeah, and it comes to that kind of key concept of the win condition, right?
Yeah.
You think about win condition, usually we use it in a very general sense. You know, Terrorblade is the win condition. Spectre is the win condition. When they get to this item, they become incredibly strong.
I'll tell the viewers, when we use words like win condition, wave shoving, this is when you don't have anything smart to say, so you pretend you're actually saying something there.
Yeah. That's exactly what we do. But yeah, there's also, you know, executing your win condition, right? In terms of knowing we need to kill this hero or stop this hero from casting a Ravage, for example, so we can win a fight and then move on.
Power Spike is also one of my favorite words.
We'll try and use them as often as we can in this cast because Game 1 has just started. Best of 2 kicking off here between Fnatic and SG Esports as we get into the draft and the group stage begins for day 2.
Yeah. So expecting Pango, that's a very interesting ban. I think this hero has a ton of potential as a position 5, as a 4. We saw Saksa yesterday, the games that we were casting doing extremely well. You go in, you can take up so much damage, you become extremely tanky, you're very annoying, you have a team fight coming out from your either 4 or 5, and also disarm, roche taking potential. The hero just has so many tools. After the recent changes where your slow is now attached to your shield crash, this is the spell you want to max out.
Yeah, and once you hit level 6, you know, you've got that team fight ability just to roll in, not really care about your life too much, but yeah, cause all that chaos and havoc. So Monkey, Weaver, Io, Pango, the 4 bans initially. That leaves Tiny in the pool along with Elder Titan, Batrider,
10 seconds remaining.
and the likes. Fnatic with that first pick.
5 seconds
It would be surprising if they didn't pick Tiny here, wouldn't it?
Definitely, because this is a flex hero, but they decide to go with the Tide Hunter.
The Death Tide. Well, that does leave the Tiny in. And do you think now teams have started to get a lock on to ways to deal with the Tiny? Because I know a couple of people have been mentioning percentage-based damage.
Percentage-based damage, you can
seconds
ruin his
remaining.
laning stage with heroes like Undying, Legion Commander does
5
well. Tiny in the
seconds
laning stage is
remaining.
really not strong. You tend to go for the max 3 throw, 3 grab. So you can't really combo anyone. It's more about surviving, getting the levels, and then going into jungle and farming the stacks. Talking about the Night Stalker, this is the hero. Okay, a very interesting opening from SG. I always, whenever I see Tidehunter, I say you need to have something that is good against him so that he can cracken it off, whether it's Doom, whether it's Enigma, whether it's Chronosphere, Night Stalker's Silence is one of those abilities.
And the funny thing about this Tinker as well is we've seen it come up
5
here and there
seconds
in
remaining.
pubs, pro-level pub games where potentially it could be a 3, could be a 4, 5. Usually we expect it to be mid laner, but at this stage of the draft, it is open and flexible. I know even before a number of the changes, Whisper on Beast Coast was playing off-lane position 3 Tinker, but recently, with the new shield you get and the ability just to have the free boots of travel, you've got this position 5 or 4 Tinker that can actually do a hell of a lot in team fights.
Yeah, definitely a hero that is super annoying. Night Stalker will provide you with the vision that is necessary. Tanky, gives you like that silence that we mentioned against the Tidehunter, and someone who can just go in and kind of protect the Tinker. So that's going to be good. I'm wondering which position Tinker will be played at.
That's very open.
It's flexible. It's a flex pick for people who are just tuning in, didn't play Dota for a year or two. This hero got reworked, so as you mentioned, you don't need to buy boots of travel. You don't need to buy boots at all, pretty much.
Yeah, you don't need that
10
much farm.
seconds remaining.
You just need a few levels. But yeah, you're right with the vision, aren't you? With those heat-seeking
5
missiles, and
seconds
at
remaining.
night time, if Night Stalker's onto someone, you can bring them down reasonably quickly.
So you want to protect this Tinker. One of the better heroes, of course, always going to be Storm Spirit. The other hero possibly coming from the position 1. You'll have Spectre, new build on Spectre, where you also have another way
10
of
seconds remaining.
just jumping the backline, jumping anyone you see is the Aghanim Scepter. Fnatic banning out the Beastmaster. Against SG, you gotta ban out that Beastmaster.
Yeah, you sure do. One of Tavo's specials. And again, another hero that brings so much vision to the game.
Feature Gaming, when they played against SG yesterday, they banned out Beastmaster. They
seconds
also
remaining.
banned out Tinker twice in the second phase. So it seems like this is
5
something that
seconds
SG
remaining.
has been preparing.
Yeah, something the South American region has definitely been
Fnatic's
building
turn
up
to
towards.
ban.
I like the Beastmaster ban for another reason as well, because very often with Tinker,
Yeah,
if
of course.
it's a core Tinker especially, you don't really hard push objectives, right? You soft push with March once you get that off the back of the shard, but you need someone who can actually sit in front and push
10
towers and
seconds
objectives.
remaining.
Beastmaster offers you that really nicely.
5
It also
seconds
allows you
remaining.
to have more vision, which means more rocket damage and being able to teleport to the units.
SG Esports turn to ban.
Well, out goes the AA. So no global ability there to completely blow someone up with the Night Stalker and Tinker comboing. I always forget the name of that spell. Keen Conveyance.
Yeah, they
CP
changed
ability.
them quite a
10
lot.
seconds
So you
remaining.
need to make stacks. Gotta be careful, because Tinker loves to farm the stacks.
5
Tidehunter
seconds remaining.
and Leshrac are one of the better heroes that can invade enemy jungle and just steal the stacks.
I guess you can farm them with laser now, can't he?
Yes.
Such a good early ability.
Ancient Apparition banned out.
Yeah, if SG caught someone with a Night Stalker and an Ice Blast, a Rocket, a Laser, there's no chance he's surviving that. ET and Bane taken out by SG. Some decent setup there if they had the Bane. And they are getting rid of those heroes that could catch the Tinker out. A Nightmare, a Grip, or a Spirit and a Stomp. Very good at resetting fights.
Leshrac is also a flexible pick, can be played at pretty much every single role from 1 to 5. We've seen it throughout the DPC seasons.
Yeah, no matter what the role is, he's going to give you that tower push, right? You look for the team fight around the Tide Ravage, and if you connect with a nice fight, you can go straight towards objectives.
SG Esports turn
Out with
to
the
pick.
Morphling, so they still leave in that
Fnatic's
Storm,
turn
that
to
Spectre, even a Zeus, for example, as heroes that could counteract the Tinker.
A bit more control coming out from Lion. Tidehunter's mana pool is a bit limited, so mana drain going to be very effective. One thing you can do when you're playing against the Tide is hex him and don't touch him.
10
That's one way
seconds
to
remaining.
try to go and kill the rest.
5 seconds
Raw
remaining.
nuke damage as well, right? Lasers, rockets, Finger of Death. If this Leshrac doesn't have an early BKB, he is going to be incredibly squishy, very susceptible, not only to that nuke damage, but also Night Stalker with a crippling fear
Fnatic's turn to
silence.
pick.
Very painful.
Oh, that's one of the heroes that you do not want to play against when you're playing Night Stalker. Egg overrides everything, so it's going to be a daytime, makes you not move. Suddenly, like you want to be flying, you want to be getting that extra movement and
10
attack speed.
seconds remaining.
You lose it.
It's like the duality of Dota drafts here.
5
AoE
seconds
team fight
remaining.
against single target pickoff.
Yes. And it's very hard for them to kill the egg. None of these heroes have high attack speed. Night Stalker does during nighttime, but once you turn into egg, and you have very nice way to protect the egg. You come into Leshrac, there's going to be a ton of damage. Now in with the Clockwork, Tidehunter probably the best one. And now with the Clockwork, you have great catch potential for Tinker, for Lion. These two heroes don't have any escape mechanism, so they don't like to play into Clockwork.
And it's such a good lineup to set up for
10
almost a full
seconds
protect one there.
remaining.
You could give Raven any number of these heavy-hitting agi carries
5 seconds
because the other four can just go out across the map and fight when they want to. Oh, that's spooky.
They need some kind of a team fight. They also need a hero that can get out of the cogs.
Looking at this, you'd think, Mirana looks pretty good here against Egg, against Cogs. You can leap around, but we just haven't seen Mirana as a core hero at all recently, have we?
No. It's been Adriano's special
turn to
in the
ban.
past. There you go. This is someone that doesn't care about the cogs, that provides you with a bit of more sustain in the team fights and can kill the egg.
Yeah, and doesn't mind too much about the Leshrac. There's always going to be hook shot as a bit of a worry for a spin TP out. But
10
apart from that,
seconds
Juggernaut going to
remaining.
have a pretty good time.
5 seconds
So that looks in
remaining.
your position 1 from SG.
SG
Well, where do you
Esports
reckon
turn
that
to
Night Stalker's
ban.
heading? Because we have occasionally seen him move away from the 3 and maybe even into support roles. But I guess the bigger question is where's Tinker heading?
Yeah, that's my question here. Fnatic banning out Snapfire, so they think it might be mid-thinker, Night Stalker on the off lane, and what they're looking
10
for
seconds
is a
remaining.
position 4-5. Pretty much, I prefer
Turn
Lion to
to
be
ban.
position 4, give him that a bit more farm so he can farm up a Blink Dagger, and then you have instant initiation.
And SG, on the other hand, banning out the TA.
10 seconds
So they're expecting that
remaining.
Leshrac to go into the 1. Did Fnatic play much of the
5
carry TA? Because
seconds
that was another
remaining.
South American special, which did filter out a little bit into some other regions, but didn't become too popular.
I don't recall them playing Templar Assassin through DPC seasons at the safe lane. Going back to Lion pick, I think it's also a great way of potentially shutting down a Storm Spirit pick, because Tinker will get caught, especially if it's a mid-Tinker, and you want to have some kind of a lockdown. Night Stalker provides you with the long-duration silence. Still, you got to protect your Tinker somehow, if it's a core Tinker.
Yeah, you've got that cover from the Lion. Yeah, you're right. Well, that's also one of the good things about Tinker, thinking about it the other way, is if Fnatic wanted a Terrorblade or a Medusa, Tinker is one of those heroes that can deal with those agi carries just through the laser, or even the illusion heroes. Because this Fnatic draft with these 4 heroes so far would really love one of those carries, wouldn't it? A Terrorblade, a Medusa, someone who is big and beefy that needs 20, 25 minutes and suddenly is
SG
running down the
Esports
lanes.
Turn to ban.
Fnatic's lineup still open. You have Leshrac that can be played as a safe lane, can be mid. You have Tidehunter who can be off lane, who can be mid laner, depending on the matchup. So they do not have the last pick. So we'll have to
10 seconds
pick
remaining.
blindly. Try to figure out if this Tinker is actually mid.
What does that
5
Grimstroke
seconds
ban tell
remaining.
you?
Fnatic's turn to pick.
it's a good pairing with
SG
Lion
Esports
overall.
turn
Just
to
a finger, and I like this. Sven, BKB carrier, Blink carrier as well, doesn't care too much about any of the spells. Once you get that BKB Echo Saber Mom, you are the strongest hero on the map. You don't care about the Juggernaut as well. With the Warcry, you're also
Yes.
amplifying the
10
team with
seconds
extra armor.
remaining.
Not really afraid of the Omni Slash. You become too tanky too quickly.
5 seconds
So many
remaining.
heroes on side of Fnatic that can farm the stack. So, as I already mentioned, SG needs to be protecting their own stacks, and they can't invade. Like, these heroes are not good at invading enemy triangle because their team fight is much more superior to Fnatic's.
And Sven has always been, like you say, the Warcry is great against Omnislash, but also historically very good against the Juggernaut, because you pop God Strength, if he's spinning, you 3-hit him. You just kill him through the spin. You don't really care too much. Very good in that face-off. Head-to-head value. Now, SG going to have to reveal where this Tinker's going eventually. Not too long left on the clock for their final pick. And a Venomancer comes out.
Now select your heroes.
So looking to put a bit more pressure on that Sven in the early stages of the game, and expecting, yep, the mid Tinker there. Adriano grabs it up, and it will be a Theo Night Stalker. So putting that in the position 4.
It's been done before. I don't think to a great success. Night Stalker really scales well with the items. You want to be annoying, get on top of Phoenix, get on top of Tidehunter, long duration silence. Venomancer, on the other side, very annoying early on to deal with. And that's also going to provide them vision for Tinker, so they're putting a lot of eggs in one basket. This Tinker
10 seconds
will
remaining.
need to pop off. There is Clockwork, as we already mentioned, that can catch him off
5
guard.
seconds remaining.
Sven, once he picks up the Blink Dagger. Phoenix, also a decent hero against him.
Do you know how that mid matchup's going to go? Chwen up against Adriano, Lesh against Tinker. It's been a while since we've seen Tinker
I
matchups.
don't remember seeing Tinker mid matchups for a really long time. He was not a popular hero. I believe both heroes are gonna farm. It's very hard for Leshrac to try to land a kill. Maybe with a rotation from Clockwork, it's doable, especially if Tinker's lane is pushed out. But that's what he wants to do. Push out the lane, stack the camp, and prepare himself later to farm up those camps.
Especially now mid laners are super reliant on farming their small camp too.
We see more and more those small mid camps being blocked
Well,
by
like the
sentries.
early sentry, yeah.
Yes. But Dobson found a way. Yesterday, he was playing Tidehunter. His small camp was blocked, and then he just invades enemies and takes it.
You block mine, I steal yours. Thompson's a clever lad. Oh, we'll see how these lanes all get set up, because you were saying that you do like Lion to have a bit more farm priority. But it seems that KJ here going to be position 5. And there's that Juggernaut for Costa Bill leading the charge. What a beautiful set. Shiny blue sword. And away we go. Get away with his predictions. Game 1 of this best of 2. Group stage continues. Fnatic already smoked up.
Prepare for battle.
Coming out of their fountain. And like you've been saying, their team fight is overwhelming. Even at level 1, they don't have their ultimates yet. They've still got plenty of stuns and catch to be able to grab a kill early on. Well, SG slowly making their way back out across here. There's a stun. Sven starts it off, they chain it up with Chuen catching out the Venomancer. It's a nice earth spike, but Tavo still going to be found.
They wanted to give this first blood to Chuen, just so that he has a bit more advantage on the mid lane. Getting closer to bottle. Has 3 branches, a Fairy Fire. A Fairy Fire is really needed on the mid lane. Even Tinker bought one.
30
There's as little
seconds
advantage
to
as you
battle.
get. You're trading hits here and there. Maybe you can take it to the very edge. Double Dar Observer Wards in the mid lane, though. This is very interesting for me.
This is something that OG has done yesterday twice, I believe. Just putting down 2 Observer Wards, so in case one gets devorded, you'll still have one ready.
Putting emphasis on that mid lane, yeah.
The battle begins.
Well, Theo over on that Radiant side allows SG to grab up 2 of the bounty runes. And Jabs gonna get spotted by the Night Stalker and the Lion, still sitting around in that mid lane. Clockwork forced to battery assault and run back. Does have the win list though, so he's a pretty speedy little keen fella. Okay, the battle of the Keens, Clockwork up against the Tinker. And Lion causing problems for him still. Are these lanes all set up as you expect though? Veno Night Stalker bot.
Venom Night Stalker, yeah, pretty much. Teolikor already used all of his mana pool, so there's not going to be too much pressure coming out from him. We'll need to bring some clarities or Mango for now. Just bringing a healing salve.
Jabs giving as good as he takes. Back onto KJ to battery assault and whack him around. Alright, mid lane. 4-0 for the Tinker so far. Looks like it's going to be a reasonably even farm trade. Laser's annoying, but this lightning storm out from the lash track will allow him to secure some CS. KJ not able to block up the large camp. Death and Jabs will move over. Make sure there's no small camp to pull.
Dire's courier has been
Do
killed.
get the kill on the courier as well. KJ loses out on it. Stunning Death up. Not taking tower aggro though. And Kostabil. Anchor Smash is always such a potent force in the laning stage when you're a melee carry like this.
He's saving 1 point in case there is a kill potential. He just got a gush. Clockwork, staying away from XP range. You want to give a bit more experience to the Tidehunter in this situation, so there's more points in the Anchor Smash, and also Tidehunter has a lot of strength gain per level, so that they can burst him down. Right now sitting at 500 gold. Death, I think he wants to get Ring of Health straight away. Double gauntlets. Might upgrade that a bit later for the Soul Ring, but rushing and getting the
Radiant's courier has
good
been
first
killed.
item against Lion, against Juggernaut early on pretty much makes you invulnerable to damage, and then your position 4 Clockwork can move around and make stuff happen.
It's bottom lane. DJ's getting chased around by the Night Stalker, contesting the pulls. Sven's doing very well though, even up against a Tavo Venomant, so we usually expect the Veno to put a lot of pressure on these melee carries, just harassing, chipping away at them little by little.
Sven doing fine. Sven doing much
Yeah.
better than I expected.
Exactly.
I guess the reason is because Night Stalker didn't have any mana, and he's really not that of a good position for early on.
You okay? Jabs chased back. They've got the double disables and the spin, the TP home, though Jabs, knowing all the stuns have gone, gets back to Fountain safely.
While all that's happening, Tidehunter just getting
Dire's
some solo
courier has been
XP, Ring of Health getting delivered to him, and now it's going to be very, very
killed.
tough to
Radiant's
deal with
courier
this
has
Tide.
been killed.
They're losing couriers left and right, though. Theo's, Death's one. Everybody's sniping out the little crows. DJ has a Fairy Fire. He's got Gale and Sting. Level 2 Sting on him. And he should be okay here with a Fairy Fire especially, and he's under tower, so he's got that little bit of bonus regen. Yeah, he's alright. Ring of Regen helps out. He's grand. TP into mid. KJ matching Jabs' movement there as the Clockwork making Tinker a little bit more worried about his lane stage. But with Water Rune spawning, he'll get that refill. No problems whatsoever for him, while KJ having some serious problems. Courier going to come out, not going to get sniped, walks into the Roche pit, but the body blocks and the cogs should secure a kill here.
Oh,
but
Roche!
Roshan, he's killing off the Lashrak. KJ, can he deny himself? No, the bash! Oh my god, Roshan's got a double kill!
Tip
Roshan!
That was such a nice player there from Lion, getting inside the pit to share some damage from Diabolic Edict, and then getting denied. If he got the kill and the denied, that would be such a Giga Chad move right there.
Roshan's never had so much fun. 4 minutes into the game, he's got a double kill.
He's got more kills than Fnatic and SG combined.
What a glorious start, and the crowd goes wild. Where are those crowd noises coming from?
That's a good question.
I have no idea. What?
And they're not stopping.
No, they're loving this. Now down bottom, Phoenix gets the void placed on him by Theo. There's the slow, the damage over time will tick him down
fire.
low, but not enough to kill him. DJ, he'll be denied in the end by Raven. And still a 1-0 kill score here as Fnatic have the only actual kill in the game.
1 kill, 3 denies. It's much better that Raven denies him there. He comes back full HP, full mana with Phoenix.
Spin out from Custoville now. It's a level 5 tide though, and you were saying, right? This guy is unkillable. He's got a hood, double gauntlet, level 2 Kraken Shell. You're not touching death.
Very surprised that they actually try to make a go on him. It was more of a poke. Let's see what this does. Force him to use a hood. 75 mana. That will get level 6 after this wave. And I love what he's doing on his Tide Hunter. Every single time he plays Tide, level 6, I'm not messing around, we'll get that Ravage straight away. Meanwhile, this was happening while we were talking. Garrett managed to miss a kill. But yeah, you only missed 50% of the kills, Gary. It's fine.
Radiant are scanning.
The ones that matter, yeah?
You caught all the denies.
I did. That's
You're a winner in my book, Gary.
the important part. Oh, Theo running back. Sven, what are you up to? Pops God Strength to kill off a small cam. Oh
Okay.
yeah. And Leshrac gets his
He
bottle
really
refilled
showed
by
them there,
jabs.
huh?
He absolutely did. Chuen. Level 3 in that Diabolic Edict. Bottle full. I'm just going to sit around. Wait to stack up his own small camp. Not going to show in that lane at all. Adriano. He's going to keep free farming himself away.
Adriano, level 7 Thinker, has a point in Keen Convenience.
Convenience, yeah. Convenient to TP around.
And rearm, so getting very close to Blink Dagger. This is the build on Thinker. Rush Blink, get that Soul Ring a bit after. We've seen Overwhelming Blink being a build, but then it got nerfed on non-strength heroes, so I assume it's gonna be like Shiva's, possibly into Bloodstone. Might need to take care of himself. You're playing against Clockwork, so getting a 4-staff wouldn't be that bad. Oh, he barely got out.
My toes are curling, my butt's clenching. That was a close one for the Juggernaut. Barely spin TPs home. And of course, we're looking at jabs, nowhere near level 6, so there's no hook shot to cancel it. And no way for a Ravage to connect at all. But it does mean with Chuen arriving, level 4 Edict, that this tower is going to be taken down in short order. Let's see if SG can do the same thing down bottom. They're attempting it. It's not going to be as fast.
It's very hard to go in and deal with Venomancer, who has 2 points in Plague Wards, going into Spirit Vessel. Pretty standard stuff coming up from Davos Veno. They even rotated every single hero to the bottom lane. I think there's a bit too many heroes down there.
Yeah, they are stacking up.
Oh, DJ gets the deny.
Being denied.
What a player. Oh, he's still down here as well. Come on.
Dire
have a go.
structures are fortified.
Yeah, a lot of emphasis from SG down to that bottom lane.
Is under attack.
So Adriano with his blink, 8 minutes in. He's going to be jumping around the map looking to defend these towers. Comes in towards mid now. As SG want to defend this objective with everything they've got. Right, it's going to be a 5v5 scrap in the mid lane, but we know that Fnatic, on paper anyway, have the overwhelming teamfight abilities with Ravage. With this Leshrac as well, but running low on mana now means Chuen wants to back up, pop the regen rune, and just chill out for a little bit while we do have a deny on that mid lane by Tavo.
This is a game of denying. We had 3 denies of kills, and we had 2 towers being denied so far. Teolicor, level 4 Night Stalker, needs to get his levels somewhere. He also needs to be the one buying the book. Your Lion is level 3.5, so supports didn't actually do that much. They're not involved in any of the kills. I don't see any big stacks being made as well.
And it still feels like Fnatic are the ones in the driving seat, right? Sven has top net worth. All 3 of their cores, in fact, are the top 3. And they're the ones with the teamfight ability here to start running at their opponents when they do get the levels. Tavo chucks out his ulti in towards Chuen. Do they have enough to bring him down before the TP completes? They do not. Theo wasn't near enough to cancel it either.
Is under attack.
Lion was not close, neither was Night Stalker, so he can TP out. These 3 heroes don't have anything to stun them with. Fnatic is itemizing for survivability. They understand most of the damage early on is going to be magical from Tinker, from Lion, Night Stalker. So good done on Tidehunter, and also one being built on Lashrak. He's one of the better Ghost Shroud carriers.
Juggernaut, Echo Saber is 500 gold away. I do like these anti-carries picking up the Echo Saber, but I do wonder if, you know, a Maelstrom or something would have been a little bit better to keep up with the Sven's acceleration. Because Raven's becoming huge.
Yeah, not a common item on Juggernaut. Usually, as you said, it's on different type of carries. I guess he's just gonna keep that Echo Saber, because disassembling, what are you gonna do with Orchid? That's my issue on Juggernaut.
Yeah, not too sure. Well, here we go with Fnatic. DJ's hit level 6. They've got the hook shot in. Catch Tavo with that initiation from Jabs, and they'll stun him into oblivion, while Raven on the backside goes straight towards Theo. 2 quick and easy kills there for Fnatic. SG with no response. Maybe, nah, they won't be able to chip away at them.
SG does not have a playmaking hero. This Night Stalker is your position 4. He's not under-leveled, he's under-farmed. Same goes for Lion, still level 5.5, 11 minutes in, almost 12. Tinker, you know that this hero wants to be in jungle. Same goes for your Juggernaut, so I'm not sure who should be the one. Like, one player that needs to be active is they group around Tavo. They have a ton of magical damage, but they also need to protect their heroes, especially Tinker. If Tinker gets jumped, I believe the fight is just over.
I guess that is one of the key things here, right? Is Adriano hasn't died yet. He is still starting.
Did you say
to scale.
Key or Keen?
Key.
Okay.
Key, yeah. Both valid there, I think. How many Keens are there in Dota? 3? 4?
Is Clockwork Keen?
Clockwork's
Timber?
Keen, Tinker. I can't remember now. And there's Tinker, is Sniper one as well.
Sniper might be the
Clockwork.
one, yeah.
I can't remember about Timbersaw. I feel like he's like in that family, but I'm not sure if he's actually Keen. We need the Lawmaster. Where's Slacks?
I saw Slacks. Slacks has a dope suit.
Oh yeah.
When you see him on camera, Slacks is the best looking guy at this TI.
Oh, by far. You're a close second though, Lacoste.
No, I'm not. Tsunami is.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I stand very firmly corrected. Man, I wish I could grow a mustache like him. He can curl the tips of his mustache. Gorgeous. Oh, hello. SG trying to make something happen. It's 2 minutes until nighttime, but we do have the Dark Ascension. And this is where this little combo starts to come into play. Night Stalker with a Tinker, spamming the heat-seeking missiles, cancelling Jam's TP. They want more than just a Clockwork, though, and that's where Costa Bill comes in. Omnislash onto Chwet. They've got Death in the vicinity, and he jumps across to him. He bounces the Omnislash back in, but they'll still lose the Lashrak. It's a good supernova on the high ground, and spin back from Costa Bill.
Big
Ravage. Ravage. Death finds the connection, but it looks like Raven
Raven's
now.
in trouble.
He's been blinded. He can't turn and hit them. Deny potentially will arrive. No, Death doesn't find it. SG, they battle into the teamfight combo Fnatic and come out on top.
Clockwork dies. Clockwork needs to be the one jumping the Tinker. Very good fight from SG. Tinker in the back line, just keep spamming those rockets. Exactly what he needs to do, as we saw Night Stalker getting in, providing vision for Tinker and Venomancer. Once he pops that ulti got buffed. Now it's max HP as damage, 2%. Level 1 ulti, and of course Spirit Vessel, current HP. We're gonna see it again. It was unfortunate, like they shared the damage. It was a nice play from Death there, but you know, you're still gonna die. Sven needs a BKB. He has Blink Dagger queued up before BKB, might be forced to get a BKB before to be able to deal with the silences, deal with Tinker, and also Lion.
Well, another kill there. We do find Jabs trading out for Tavo, but it's DJ that's being hunted down by the Night Stalker. Fortunately for DJ, though, Raven is in the vicinity to hold them back. Well, it's a good turn of pace, though, by SG, able to actually get out of their shell a little bit, make the combo work for themselves. And that, you know, it's Dark Ascension being used, but now it's nighttime again.
For the
means they
next
can-
5 minutes, SG should start to put more pressure on the map,
Exactly.
especially the mid tower. Group up with the Venomancer. Venom also not that leveled, level 8.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, pretty low down there, right? Sven, Jug, 13, 12, a bunch of 11s. Veno really down in the dumps. Feeling too hot. Here comes that group up though. So we've got Echo Saber and yeah, Maelstrom for Costa Bill's Juggernaut. Sitting pretty, second place in the net worth, taking that tier 2 mid like you called for. Healing ward well placed in the trees. Keep them nice and topped up. And Fnatic completely dodging this. Ravage on cooldown for 15 seconds, so no real intention of fighting mid. They'll try and force it onto the Dire doorstep, and they get a good stun. Chuen starts it off and allows Death just to come in to take out KJ. So hero missing here from SG. They're still roaming across the map and wanting to battle though.
The Olicor, he's ready to go in. Also Dark Ascension available.
There's Ravage and Egg though. This seems like a little bit risky. There's the Egg, Supernova's out, Stormhammer stun, Theo's gone. Both supports shredded by Fnatic. And SG not able to really defend this top tier 2 anymore.
I always laugh when Night Stalker tries to go in and the Phoenix just uses Egg.
Daytime, nighttime.
That's a legal move.
He's not meant to be able to do that.
They got the tower, didn't take the outpost, but you know they got what they came for. Sven decided to get a Blink Dagger
Yeah, you
before
mentioned
BKB. It's a tough one. You know, if he gets the first jump, then it's good. But if he gets jumped on, that Blink Dagger is not gonna be of any use. The overtime damage from Venomancer, Spirit Vessel, constant rocket spam. You can think about Blink Dagger also as a farming tool, jumping between the camps.
And a wave pushing tool as well, right? He's able
Yeah.
to move across the map, join up with his team when he has finished farming.
For example, Tidehunter, he has a hood, so can still blink. Let's say a rocket hits him, he popped the hood,
Yeah.
and then can just absorb that damage.
That's a good point. And like you mentioned earlier on in the draft, Death's performance on the Tide.
Well,
able
maybe
to
not
pick
a
his
rocket,
moments.
because it's 25 more, 25 more damage than what hood absorbs, but
Okay.
any other damage, magical, he can blink. It was always a trick. Ooh.
He does. Oh!
He was thinking about it.
We were all thinking about it. Well, now Death's going to be thinking about it for the next 140
There was
seconds.
half a second, where I
Yeah.
think there was a communication. Is there anyone? Is there gonna be a follow-up? Maybe he checked the mini-map, saw Clockwork was close, decided to pop it.
Yeah, Jam's even hookshot in there. Oh, a swift dive away from DJ. Out of the grasps of SG. But now you know that Ravage is down, as well as that hookshot. That's for another 30 seconds.
That was pretty impressive yesterday on this Tidehunter. You gotta get that one bad Ravage that you're gonna use early on,
Oh,
so
yeah?
that it does not happen, you know, when it matters.
Pre-20 minutes, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Over and done with. Every Ravage afterwards going to be spot on. Theo, very sneakily, invis, and they've even got a ward to play around. Jam's being pummeled by heat-seeking missiles, four-star hookshot defensively back to his Tide. How long is that night time? 1 minute remains on the natural night here for SG.
Still has extra 30 seconds if he pops the ulti. Talk to me about Thinker, Gary. You're a Thinker spammer.
Not anymore, man.
Not anymore. What about Defense Matrix? A bit of status assistance, you know, level 1. It goes up to 50, which is not bad. Easy for us to do math, which I really like. I like those numbers.
Nice flat numbers, no percentages, no quantum mechanics required to do any mathematics there, really. Although it's pretty good having a defensive tool that you can spam out. You know, if you're thinking about pushing high ground, right? Jug has the spin, but when spin's done, he'll have that defense matrix to continue pushing with, you know, Plague Wards pressuring objectives as well. So I feel like if Fnatic whiff on a team fight, which they are heavily reliant on, you know, looking at all their team fight ultis, if they whiff on a team fight, SG, they can really stick it to them if they get towards the high ground area, or even just these tier 2s.
SG doesn't care too much about cooldowns. Yes, you have Finger, you have Venomancer ulti, Dark Ascension.
They've got rearm. What's cooldowns?
Yeah, that's my point. Even without those big ultis being online, you can still take the fight. Like, you can punish no Tidehunter ulti and no Phoenix ulti.
Jab's working on his Aghanim Scepter. Tangible Cloak. Being chased down, but SG
Scanning.
not able to find him hiding in the trees. Big fan of this Tinker going bootsless.
It's a thing. You don't need boots of travel, as we already said.
Yep.
You have rearm and you have a free TP with the keen convenience. You can TP with level 2 on units, level 3 you can TP to heroes.
Radiant's bottom
Surprising
tower
to
is
see
under
more of a Thinker. Maybe teams are saving it for day 2, day 3, so we will see a bit more of a Thinker. Not saying I'm a fan. Tinker games sometimes get a bit boring. Raven ready to jump in. That's the BKB. Disassembled his Echo Saber.
Yeah, I guess he's not the same Tinker as before, right? Where it was farm, Soul Ring, Boots of Travel, Blink. I'm going to TP to every side lane, march, vacuum up all of the gold on the map, and then be impossible to kill. It's DJ, he plops a sentry down, but Dire are the ones with the vision advantage, forcing a supernova, but that nice burst out from Raven clears through the Night Stalker.
We've seen this before. Night Stalker tries to go on Phoenix, silence him up. Phoenix is a very tough kill to get unless they get Lion, maybe even Tinker on top of him. 20 Holy Locket charges. You become super tanky, and 1700 HP. Tidehunter decided to go for a Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, I was looking
Protection
towards...
against Juggernaut ulti.
Exactly. Leshrac doesn't really have that, though. You know, no Yule Scepter, no Ghost for him. So it's going to be interesting to see how Chuen deals with that Omni Slash. I guess, like you said earlier on, they do have that Sven with the Warcry to try and bolster their efforts. Stabile goes wild. Juggernaut's keeping up real nicely with the Sven. Both of them around 12,000 net worth, even though Sven has that built-in cleave and the ability just to clear through stacks so quickly.
This Echo Saber paying off. I don't mind seeing it a Juggernaut. Gives you good stats, mana regen.
It feels like the same thing. Oh, hello. There's the double blink. Jump onto Theo. Night Stalker yet again. The first point of contact. Fnatic very gladly remove him from the game.
I think it's time to Roche. Raven has ulti available. They're grouping around. Ravage also online. 20 seconds without a Night Stalker who does not have a buyback. It's daytime, no ulti. They need to let this one go.
Yeah, it's like the first time we saw Spectre by the Echo Saber. I think the same phrase, the same sentence was said. It's everything she needs. Tankiness, mana regen, bit of this, bit of that. Double attack out. Yeah, you've got a passive there. You know, Desolate on Spectre. You've got crit on Juggernaut. Why not? Well, no ways to deal with Omni Slash until now. Aegis picked up by Chuen. So 2 lives on your Leshrac. And it feels like Fnatic should be pretty ready to fight. Even without God Strength, it feels like Ravage Supernova and his lashed magic damage puts them in a really strong position. But where do you want them to go? Do you want tier 2 mid? Bottom lane to be pushed? What's the next area of the map Fnatic should go and call their own?
They need to smoke. One problem when you're playing against Venomancer is vision. You can't just approach. You can't park yourself in front of the tower. Venomancer will be annoying. Same goes for Tinker. Tinker just 1,000 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. Shrink Ray is what it's called. You become smaller.
Stacking and stacking.
What if you become so small you can't find your hero?
I don't know. What do you do then? Just keep spamming F1. Try and find it eventually.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Or you become League of Legends where you have the autofocus
Joanne
Always looking at your hero.
on bottom. Since he picked up Aegis, there's no need to get a BKB straight away. Instead, upgraded his Kaya into Kaya and Sanj.
And becomes incredibly tanky. And there is that systematic move. Fnatic just come in. Towers falling like dominoes. Pretty early glyph from SG. Usually an indication that they want to defend, and that's why we see Fnatic making this move up towards high ground, cut the mid-wave, hold the prime position in that dire triangle. But SG actually just aren't in position to do anything here. Costa Bill's top, KJ's behind him, 3 heroes are sat mid.
Fnatic's already behind the tower, ready to jump in. They might even go for the high ground. Pop another Edict, 10 seconds. There is God Strength available on Sven if they want to just deal tower damage. Chuen providing vision for the team.
And now the TPs start to come in from SG. Slowly but surely they filter back towards their base. They've got Sunray healing up this Leshrac. 2.5 minutes on the Aegis as well. And they've kept the catapult alive. No one's actually able to deal with it. They do bring the Lash lower and lower, but he's got Essence Ring, plenty of regen. And Fnatic, they can just move back and reset.
I thought that they will commit. Possibly with a Sven, pop the God Strength, has a BKB. There are no BKB piercing abilities other than Omni Slash, which Sven is really not afraid of, so could potentially just take the tower and TP out. Maybe even go for the full barracks. But Fnatic playing it real safe.
SG, find death. In comes Theo, but there's the Sunray, turns it back to daytime. KJ, he's taken out very quickly inside the cogs, while Death and Chuen, they're looking for more. Theo's got himself away from Raven. That BKB and God Strength not paying off for him. And all things considered, SG walking in there and only losing their Lion seems pretty good.
SG trying to buy time for Tinker to become more annoying. Tinker, next item, BKB, very interesting. Wants to be able to protect himself against Clockwork, against Leshrac and Ravage, of course.
Yeah, if he gets Blink ravaged.
Lotus Orb done on Tidehunter. Love that item, especially in this situation.
Hello.
There's the Ravage.
There's the 2-man. Connects on Costa BL, but he does get the spin off, and he's out of there. 3-man stun. There's a Ravage from the Lion as well. Finger of Death not appearing to do too much. Tankiness and sustain
Now it's
coming
their time
out
to
from
strike.
the
They
Radiant.
need to chase.
Raven's very low. No BKB, no God Strength, and the lasers. They're spammed out onto him. The 2 cores gone. Aegis expires. And Leshrac going to respawn in the midst of it all. Surrounded by 3 heroes, and there's no surviving from this. A double for Adriano as he does find death on the back lines, and Chuen cleared up by Costa BL.
Oh man, Raven did not stun Juggernaut on time. I guess status resistance didn't count that in, coming out from SNY on Juggernaut.
22%. That looked like it could have been the end for SG.
It's still hard. They don't find Tinker. Look at the way that Ward was positioned near tier 3 tower so that they have some extra vision if Night Stalker dies to keep the Tinker spam going on. And Venomancer Ward, of course, will provide vision.
And they're straight back down the throats of Fnatic, taking this tier 2 mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower
They
has
could go
fallen.
down to bottom and claim up some of these objectives that have been left out on the map for them. Just the ideal fight there for SG. And again, it comes back to that fact that Fnatic, they are very reliant on this team fight, right? They have the wombo combo, but if it whiffs, if one element of it fails, they're left one piece short of a jigsaw.
They needed to burst down the Juggernaut. He has Titan Sliver on top of it, so status resistance. Sometimes you make this, I'm gonna call a small mistake. You do not want to overlap the stuns, but better safe than sorry. Lose maybe 0.2, 0.3 seconds.
Radiant's
But
bottom
guarantee
tower
the
has
stun, yeah,
fallen.
you're right. And now, Fnatic back to the waiting game. 30 seconds on Ravage until they have the full arsenal of teamfight ultis ready again. Death hasted here. SG not able to connect onto the Tide, but they did take down those tier 2 towers mid and bottom lane, and they're planting themselves on this Radiant side of the map. It's a great spot for Venomancer to be in. He loves building these bunkers of Plague Wards. Keep the vision, keep the push going. The oppression from the Venomancer, shoving in these waves. A DD rune there. Juggernaut going to be left at the bottle. Where is he? Clearing Ancients and heading over. Do you want Fnatic to try and go again? Do they have to?
It's not gonna be easy. The more items SG gets, the sounds stupid, but it's gonna be easier for them because you have the Stinker reducing their HP with the Aghanims upgrade. The defense matrix is maxed out, so people will have 50% status resistance on top of it. Damage absorb. Once the BKBs are down, they have kiting tools. Now Lion that he finished his first item, a 4-staff. Night Stalker with a Blink Dagger can easily just jump. Venomancer also another 4-staff for him. So what SG wants is a prolonged fight. They want these BKBs used, they want the big ultis to be used, and then possibly reset. Tinker comes back, you have a healing ward to keep you alive, and Venomancer overtime damage to kick in and just be super annoying.
Extend those team fights out, yeah. Keep that spam going. 15 seconds or so until Roshan could potentially spawn, and that's why we're seeing both teams sitting up on high grounds, waiting things out, hoping for their opponents to make that ballsy smoke play or that over-eager maneuver into enemy territory. That's where Death was, a little bit far forward. He makes his escape. Another long Roshan spawn. I feel like all of our games the past couple of days have been 2 minutes plus on the respawn.
Yeah, no one was blessed by a quick spawn. Tidehunter, Refresher queued up next. Smoke from SG. Let's see where they're heading. Going on a minimap. Wants to do a bit of a backstab through the triangle and try to find something.
Well, DJ, he's in a good position if they had gone that route. But they decide to go southwards instead. It looks like Fnatic very wary of what's going on here. Oh look, everyone's missing, nobody's showing on the map. Nobody's top, nobody's clearing mid. Just seeing a quick little laser from the Tinker. But apart from that, SG completely unseen.
KJ was drawing on minimap to go through the Roche entrance into triangle, and then they decided to go around. In the end, decided not to go inside the triangle at all.
Not worth risking
Joanne,
it.
king of the hill, with spider legs and blink can easily get down.
Oh, nice little Eternal Shroud there for him as well, but it does delay the BKB.
Clockwork, Aghanim Scepter done, which means he can reset all of his abilities. He can also outpush the lanes with Rocket, overclocking Rocket again.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be using for, isn't it? Yeah. Spam out the rocket flares. It's going to be so good to catch the Tinker, isn't it? Hook shot, Bounty Assault cogs, trap him. Overclock to hook shot again. A very, very calm couple of minutes. Nobody wanting to get embroiled into any real team fights right now. Very content farming themselves away. SG. Rainbow TPs to top outpost though. They've caught a glimpse of someone. Death has come to deward the obs. SG pushed that bottom lane pretty far towards the Radiant base. So it looks like someone's going to have to come back and deal with it, while Roshan has spawned, spotted by a Plague Ward.
That's second Roche. For people who don't read the changes, don't read the patch notes, second Roshan does not drop cheese anymore. It's Aegis plus Shard. I like the change because second Roshan was a bit too important, like you got too many stuff from him.
It's like first Roshan meant very little, second Roshan was we're gonna go high ground. It's basically adding another 2 heroes to your lineup. 7v5, not very fun. Rocket Flare, giving that vision though from Fnatic. Seeing the Juggernaut kick things off in the pit. Radiant Observer Ward Dire Sentry, is it? Looks like it. So no dire vision there of this smoke.
Radiant are scanning.
And a very good scan. Fnatic know exactly where they are with that Rocket Flare in particular, and they jump onto Theo. Yet again, the target of choice destroyed immediately. Chuen, he's moved on to the Juggernaut, but the Omnislash bouncing in with
Trent's dead.
that laser and a finger of death. Chuen is just gone. The turnaround back towards the Sven now. He's forced to BKB, but a great hook shot. Jabs with the help of the Ravage, catching out the Tinker. The second hook shot as well, and Raven with a double kill. Kostabiel's got a lot on his plate now as SG buy back on the Tinker, matching that of the Leshrac, but knowing that God's Strength and BKB are about to be done for the Sven. But he's Silver Edge, he's invis, he turns with a stun, and then he decides to run.
Buyback from Adriano. They need to fall back. BKBs are down. They have no big ultis left, so they just need to chase.
And DJ's gone.
Straight into Roche Pit.
And Leshrac also bought back, right? So Chwen loses his life. This game just could come to an end.
Juggernaut, I don't think they can burst him down, considering all the status resistance that he's got, plus 2 force staffs. So I would assume that they give this Aegis to Tinker.
Especially having bought back, right?
Yeah.
Give him that secondary life.
They did a very good job finding Tinker. Hook shot with another set of abilities. Reset. Let's see who decides to pick it up. Juggernaut still not making any slots in his inventory, and now he does it in the end.
Interesting. And now we get the shard on the Venomancer as well, so we're going to have those Plague Wards come out of the Gale. But yeah, I guess there, Adriano saying, no, I feel still reasonably comfortable with how this game's going, even without having buyback. Maybe an indication here that they have a lot of trust and faith in Kostabiel on this Juggernaut just to walk high ground and put this one to an end.
Adriano's getting closer to his BKB. Could be the reason to say, you pick it up, you are going to be our
Radiant's
siege
top tower
machine.
is under attack.
Well, that's where they're heading, isn't it? They're going straight in towards that top lane. Fnatic drew a massive circle around the Dire triangle, and they want to push that bot lane. Maybe considering a counter push of their own, but looks like Chwen there. TPing home is going to put that one to sleep. He wants to defend instead. Juggernaut, you're right, man. He is just so strong, isn't he?
He was kind of a silent because game was very slow at the start. But Kostabiel really having a good game. 2-0 and 5, level 23 on the Juggernaut.
Unkilled and unkillable. 404 last hits in a 38-minute game. Still just a touch behind the Sven in overall net worth. But he's putting his net worth to much better use right now. Heading high ground as that hook shot misses from jabs. Tier 3 crumbles.
Not sure if they would be able to follow up. They have the Blink Daggers. DJ could potentially dive in, but they need to defend the barracks. Juggernaut will spin, reset his cooldowns. Healing Ward available in 10 seconds.
That's the big one, right? Wait for the healing ward to come back up.
The big thing is there's always going to be someone out pushing out the waves, the bottom, the mid. You have Tinker in the team. So that's not going to be the case here. You can always still have one hero defending the base and coming back into the fight.
And DJ's having a lot of fun. 45 seconds or so sitting in here behind a tree, just biding his time, waiting for the moment to dive in. He's going to get hexed though. The immediate snap into action from KJ catches the Phoenix. He does have buyback.
You can't spell dive without die, Gary. He was waiting, like he wanted that to be very special.
Well, it was special for KJ. Mid-air hex.
Quick fingers got him mid-dive.
And Raven. Well, just look at how much damage he's taking out from this Juggernaut. The shard through the spin, getting the right clicks out with a fully completed Mjolnir now. And SG looking to pressure the melee barracks. Nothing so far looking like it can stop this man on the front lines. And 4 heroes sit very defensively, waiting behind it. It's a good rocket flare to give a bit of vision here for Fnatic, but I don't know, man. They're just not in any rush to jump in and fight. They're actually bailing on it. They do not want to defend this top lane. They glyph it, but they evade the fight itself.
Still a minute and 20 left on that Aegis. Melee barracks killed.
Such a disciplined play, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's the main reason why they decided to give Juggernaut Aegis instead of Tinker, he will be the front line. Fnatic out of the base, they know they can't let this happen. They can't just allow them to slowly siege and lose the game. They need to make something happen. Try to catch this Tinker who does not have a buyback. Good thing for him is that BKB is available. Just picked up the bottle rune, Arcane Rune in the bottle, so that means even more spam.
Are
Oh
scanning.
man. When he gets that Bloodstone, he's going to be real nasty. Bloodstone. Yeah, he's doing Bloodstone, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Even more spam. I always wonder, how do you feel about getting Bloodstone late game? Because it always feels like an item that you'd love to buy early so you can get stacks up on it.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case anymore. It's, of course, good if you can get it straight away, but what happens if you start losing the charges? Then it's one of those feels bad moments. There are better items to get early on in Tinker. Spell Prism, okay.
Where's that going to go to? I wonder.
Telescope as well. Tinker for now, just holding on to Nether Shawl. Extra 6% spell damage, plus extra 10 spell damage from level 20 talent.
That's some good spell damage. Added range in from that Ether Lens.
It's working!
Spell amp at 18%. DJ, de-warding. Plenty of Plague Wards there created though by Tavo. And look at that, Fnatic. They know they have to take drastic measures here to try and reclaim this game. It feels like it's the first time really here that SG have been in the lead net worth wise. Now Rocket Flare yet again scouts out Theo. He has always been the first target for Fnatic to jump in with the Stormhammers, the Blinks. Tavo might also be a good option. Another
They know
flare.
something is up. They saw the angle from where Rocket was coming, and SG already preparing. They have the high ground ward, Venomancer also trying to protect, cancel any possible blink daggers. Fnatic drawing on minimap. They want to go inside the enemy triangle, possibly catch someone if Tinker decides to be greedy.
Still a lane of barracks down though, so these creeps are just coming in, taking down the little buildings. DJ having to sit back and defend his base.
This is the classic Tinker game, Gary. You make one mistake, Tinker punishes you, and then takes over the game pretty much.
Radiant
He
are
sucks the life
scanning.
out of you, draws it out, extends the game. And you have to deal with wave after wave of creeps.
You need to be mentally strong to be able to deal with Tinker.
Oh, Raven had to BKB TP. Nothing to stop him, right? There's just a basher on Juggernaut, but no Abyssal Blade or
No abilities. It's a 6-second BKB, so doesn't care too much about using it. Getting closer to level 25, that's going to be some extra God Strength damage. Tinker, his buyback available once again, off cooldown. Refresher Tide. Has enough mana to use both Ravages.
He's going Shadow Blade next. Wanting that element of surprise from the Blinks, the Shadow Blades. I think we have to come back to that point you made, what was it, like 15 minutes ago, maybe a bit more, where they were pushing bot lane. Imagine if they'd taken that tier 3. Imagine if they'd committed for that. Forced to fight, maybe got a lane of barracks. This could be a completely different game.
Could have been, but there's still Tinker. I think in this type of a game where Tinker has a buyback, it doesn't matter that much that you lost one set of barracks. Roshan is up. What does he have? Refresher Shard.
Looks like a good one for the Fnatic side. Having that Refresher Shard on any number of these heroes. Well, it feels like SG.
Refresher on Tinker.
Oh yeah. Let's refresh Rion. SG holding back in their jungle. Let the camps respawn. The fate of Fnatic is in their own hands. Night Stalker even has a BKB now. Position 4 Night Stalker getting a little bit farmed. And in we go to Roshan. A double tap from Echo Saber and the bash is landing. Starting it off, but not opting to stay in the pit. Always respecting Fnatic's team fight capabilities.
Fnatic, they need to win this fight. They need to try to go in, possibly take the Roshan after, because if they lose the Aegis, same thing is going to happen. There's going to be a slow siege from the Juggernaut, so they need to strike. This time around, they have a double Ravage, so this is their big timing. Fairy Fire sitting inside the Roche pit, outside the Roche pit for quite some time. It's a bait.
I wish I knew whose it was. Raven, Invis. Rocket Flare again, just to give a little bit of vision there. SG protecting Adriano's Tinker.
Bottom lane being pushed in. Someone needs to address that double catapult wave. This is what SG has been waiting for.
Their moment to strike, isn't it? They are whittling away at Roshan. I mean, little by little, they're going in, step by step. Move in, move out. Not getting caught out by Fnatic. Do we have any smokes left? It feels like Fnatic have chain smoked through their entire supply, but the Eon disc out from Tavo allows his BKB and ultimate to get off. So goes to Bill. He's back onto death. Ravage, second one, it gets thrown out, but does nothing whatsoever. SG lose out on Theo the Core, but that's the entirety of Fnatic's teamfight ultimates expended and only getting a kill on the Night Stalker. That leaves Roshan wide open now to SG for Juggernaut to wander into the pit.
Venomancer had this Eon disc for a while. I don't know what the plan there was. Try to burst him. Can't do it with Eon disc. There's going to be a 4-staff. He got the ulti off. Raven jumps in, instantly deletes KJ.
Yeah, but he just buys back, and now the Juggernaut, BKB and Spin, the double magic community, shiny golden god, Juggernaut's onto Raven. The Sven's been bashed, slaying the beast. Oh, Raven buys back. He doesn't have God Strength or BKB, but they know they have to do something. They've got to fight here. Chuen. Oh, dearie me. He's got Flicker BKB, but he's been hexed up now. The buyback from KJ allows him back into the fight, and the spin from the Juggernaut, slaying yet another.
Juggernaut is just too powerful. He has 4,000 HP, 1,500 mana, and what is he sitting at? 27 armor. One thing the Sven could have done there is buy Shard. He was sitting at 7,000 gold. So Dispel mechanic, remove that Eon disc, and just burst him down.
That's a good point, yeah, he could have gone that direction. But
now spent all of his gold, Swift Blink, hook
shot
in.
Shot jabs, once in the pit. Tavo's holding them back with the Gale and the Plague Wolves. The Aegis grabbed by Coast to be able to dive forward.
Phoenix stole the cheese.
He steals out the cheese, yes, sneaky DJ, but he's gonna pay for it. Dead for 100 seconds. SG with a convincing victory around the pit, yet again getting their hands on the Aegis.
Tinker and Juggernaut are a bit too powerful at the moment. I don't think they have enough. Sven timing was much earlier. Now he has to deal. He's also a hero that does not want to buy like MKB to deal with the mischance. You have a Dispel mechanic from Satanic, but your BKB is down to 6 seconds, and you know the fight is going to be prolonged. You just can't do enough within those 6 seconds. You can't kill a hero. Maybe you can kill one of the heroes, but at this point of the game, there are going to be some buybacks, and you put yourself in a tough spot. You already used the buyback, so Raven, he makes one mistake, the game just ends.
What do they have? Tide has buyback, Clock has buyback. DJ holding cheese still, might hand it over. This Flash Track, for instance. But no, Phoenix has claimed it as his own. Outpost bottom has been signaled out there by Raven Sven. Smoking up with his 2 supports, wandering through their own jungle, but that move has been very, very clearly indicated by KJ. He knows what's up.
Tidehunter also died immediately. Tried to pop the second Ravage. There was no follow-up. Sven was already backing off. They need to go all in. Like, we'll go for one fight. They're not going to get any bigger. As time goes by, it's only going to get tougher for Fnatic to stay in this game.
They really wanted the Tinker. Like, they're waiting. Look, I mean, Dyer just knows. Adriano is playing left side of the map, staying with his team, not getting caught out. They even scan on the right-hand side, where they do have a Tinker ward from Jabs, but immediately gone thanks to the gem of Theo. And the map becomes small, dark, sad, cold, lonely. All of these...
Keep it going, Gary.
Yeah, all these very negative words for Fnatic. It's not looking very good, is it?
It's really not. Fnatic was staying 10k gold ahead. I think that was max in this game, and then suddenly, because status resistance kicked in, they didn't stun Juggernaut, and suddenly this whole game collapsed for them.
Yeah. That's like that one fight where they double ravaged. They got the ravage on 2 people, the Juggernaut +1. All fell apart from there. 2 minutes left on the Aegis for Costabil. Means he goes high ground, spins the tier 3 down. Split Earths do start to become a little bit annoying, but he's got answers for it.
Juggernaut also upgraded his Aghanim Scepter. Gets, mini slash, what I like to call it.
Oh, mini slash?
Yep.
Starting to move in towards this Radiant base, though. DD rune for Costabil about to end. Some serious damage onto the poor little ranged racks. Oh, Jabs. Are you sure you want to start the fight like this?
There's still a healing ward.
There's still defense matrix. There's still 4 heroes behind the Juggernaut.
65.7% status resistance with defense matrix, SNY, and the neutral item. Yep.
That's some nasty stuff on the Jug. Plus double magic immunity, but Raven. Oh, KJ with the Eon Disc now. Raven can't clear through him. Theo pops his BKB and gets himself over the trees. Supernova looks pretty wasted as Costabil still holding Aegis for 40 seconds. Has Omni Slash ready, but the Lotus Orbs forcing him to hold it even longer as he spins back across through the hook shot. And Jabs, he's going to get pummeled by SG. Forced to buy back now.
A good thing about Night Stalker when Phoenix uses his ulti is you're still flying, so you can get away from, like you can get over the hills, which actually saved his life. This is gonna be another set of barracks for SG. There's only one left.
And not for long.
10 seconds left on Aegis. Can they time it?
1 minute cooldown on Glyph. Eon Disc out from the Venomancer. And the Ravage comes in to take down Tavo. Costabil, though, doing some significant damage. Raven dead without the buyback. 2 heroes trapped in the cogs means the Omni Slash, they'll force the cheese out of Trent, but GG has been called. SG take game 1 here up against Fnatic.
Very slow, methodical win from SG. They understood their timings. They knew how their lineup is built. Early on, they struggled quite a lot. They had both supports who were under-leveled. Juggernaut was having a really good time. Tavo also a bit under-leveled. Then a couple of fights, they knew where their strength is coming from, and that's from providing vision with Venomancer ward, with the Night Stalker, and then Tinker just pew-pewing and using rockets from the back lines, dealing the damage, getting the levels. Tinker was, level 27, 28 in the end once he hits that level 25. It's just too annoying to play into. You, as a Sven, you want to go in and delete someone, and they have a good ways of resetting. We already saw a couple of buybacks. Sven goes in, pops a BKB, puts himself in a bad spot. After BKB, he's just food.
Yeah, it felt Fnatic very reliant on that kind of one-and-done team fight. One cycle of abilities, right? They go Ravage, Supernova, God's Strength, BKB, and once that's all gone, it's not a pretty sight for Fnatic. So game 1 going with the way of SG, very well played by them, hitting their later timings with that Juggernaut and the Tinker. We'll find out what happens in game 2 coming up right after this break. Welcome back to Fnatic up against SG here for the group stage as we get ourselves into game 2. Lacoste, Tinker, Juggernaut. Are they going to get banned?
I would say Fnatic will 100% ban Tinker in the first phase, because Tinker caused a ton of issues. It's one of the most annoying heroes to play against. Now that I'm looking at the picks, they decided to go with Sven. Maybe Spectre would have been a better choice to be able to jump Tinker twice with the Aghanim Scepter. There are different kind of builds on Spectre. You can get Orchid, silence that Tinker, and he can't really do anything. Can't rearm, can't blink, because you canceled the blink dagger. You had the follow-up from Clockwork. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they adjust, because Fnatic showed that they can play some really good Dota yesterday. SG, we gotta give them credit. They struggle with both supports early on, but managed to come back into the game. Off lane, Davo, man, I mean, you can't really, do anything impressive with the Venomancer. You're just there, being annoying, potentially cancel the blink daggers, pop your ulti. Itemization-wise, it was on point. Having that Eon disc allowed him to pop the ulti in that one fight, which turned things around one more time. Unfortunately for Fnatic, they were not able to stun the Juggernaut, stun lock him, because there was a bit too much status resistance. Sometimes even professional players, athletes, they forget about it.
We had like 60% or something, didn't they, with the Titan Sliver Matrix and all that. But yeah, heading into the draft, as we do have Fnatic banning the IO and the Tinker, you're absolutely correct. I think another thing for SG there that we did mention is, after seeing them in the first 2 DPC seasons, they did struggle with being a little bit greedy, and Venomancer is the opposite of greedy, right? He's a lane winner. He's a hero that doesn't need too much farm. He can build any number of items. So it was nice there seeing, Tinker and Juggernaut, their position 1 and 2 were their position 1 and 2, rather than Tavo taking over the game. So they've definitely realized that's the direction they need to go. And Monkey King, a hero that I don't believe I've cast yet. He's got, what, 40 bans or something ridiculous so far?
Monkey King is one of the most popular heroes here at the International after day 1. Let me just check the numbers real quick.
10 seconds remaining.
He's been banned 30 times, Gary. 30 times, win rate 60%, picked 10 games.
Wow. And mostly as a support, right? The bootsless Orb of Corrosion, then decide where you want to go.
Yeah, they're a Mage Slayer, Diffusal Blade. There are different ways to build Monkey King. There were a couple of core monkeys. Fnatic, they decide to go with Mars and Phoenix, the old school combo.
Bringing it back.
Percentage-based damage is going to be good. Everyone becomes super tanky. Tiny is still available. I don't know if you want to go with Tiny and Monkey King, then you're revealing one of those is not a core. You can still do Tiny mid, Monkey as your position 1. Then you have a lot of tower damage coming out from both of these heroes.
And you got 2 ranged melee heroes then, don't you? The long reach of Monkey King's staff and Tiny's tree.
Snapfire is available. I don't mind picking up Snapfire early on. Pleasantly surprised how this hero, after all the nerfs, is still doing that good and is considered to be one of the top picks.
Yeah, still a viable pick.
Lina, okay, they just same way of thinking where you get the attack speed. Doesn't matter where this hero goes. It's always going to be good to have someone that can kill the egg.
And it's one of one of Adriano's specialties, right? He was one of the first players to go that Brown Boots, Yules, BKB, Daedalus, Shiva's Guard, the right-click Lina, which has become more and more popular nowadays. He was doing this back, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So it's definitely in his wheelhouse.
Lina is not spellcaster anymore. You deal damage through your right clicks.
Yeah.
She has a nice set of talents to do so.
Yeah, there's Fiery Soul talents.
Templar Assassin banned out, so this implies Lina is mid.
Absolutely does. Look at the respect there from Fnatic. Tinker ban, Juggernaut ban. 2 key heroes in the success for SG Esports in game 1. Now Fnatic, this draft is, you said it's the old classic. It's shades of the Animager, right? We saw a lot of this combo together. And it worked reasonably well.
Mars figured out where they know how to counter him, they know how to play, they know how to pick against him. Heroes that are good that can get outside of the arena, heroes with the magic immunity. So Juggernaut comes to my mind, so no surprise that Fnatic actually banned Juggernaut out. Great against Phoenix, great against Mars. Lifestealer is the one that comes to my mind to see if they might go for it.
Right, I'm back. Mr. Destructoid has been kicked out of the arena. He's no longer here. Don't know what happened there. Hopefully everyone's ears are okay.
I hope so.
So what was that, Lacoste? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No,
I don't
can.
know if
It's
you're
fine. It's
trolling.
fine.
Okay, all good.
Oh, jeez. DK, Bane, Beastmaster out. They really don't want Tava to have his hands on that.
Phoenix is a good, not gonna say counter, but
10
when we're talking
seconds
about
remaining.
team fight, you use same logic applies to
5 seconds
Phoenix being very
remaining.
good against Faceless Void. You drop down a Chronosphere. Phoenix uses an egg. So Wukong's command against Phoenix said, you know, they're gonna be grouping around. They decide to ban Pango.
Yeah, it's one of those cool things, right? Like Dota, we often talk about there are so many options, you know, so many directions to go. But some heroes, like Phoenix, for example, it forces your opponents to make a binary option. Either you hit the egg or you run away from the egg, right? So you limit all of the other options of chase this hero, chase that hero, dive here, dive there. It's literally like, if you deal with the egg, you get rid of it. If you don't, you got to run away.
Exactly. Invoker so far picked 6
10
times
seconds remaining.
in TI group stage.
Doing well?
5
Would you consider
seconds remaining.
16% win rate well?
No, not particularly. He's been banned a lot, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was, mostly in the second phase. So Oracle, great pickup here. Against a lot of synergy with Monkey King, Lifesteal during Oracle ulti, can purge off potentially a Spirit Vessel if Invoker decides to go for that. Great against Phoenix, you're caught
10
inside of the
seconds
arena
remaining.
against Mars spells. They need backline
Fnatic's
jumpers.
turn to
I want to see Fnatic pick something that can jump this Oracle.
Yeah, it's going to be vitally important for them. And you've also got that Fortune's End with Primal Spring as well. Super long-range catch from the Oracle and the Monkey King. Then you add in a Sand King too. Fnatic
10 seconds
going
remaining.
to have some struggles keeping their heroes alive. No real saves as of yet.
5 seconds remaining.
So when they do get jumped, they can get blown up incredibly quickly.
Spectre, once again, comes to my mind. Might not be the easiest lane against Sand King. Sand King should have a fairly free time in that lane if they decide to go for Spectre, but being able to jump Oracle. Mars doesn't really have a hero to play with Phoenix and Invoker. There's going to be a Sunstrike if he lands his abilities on Oracle, but I would still love to see someone who just goes into backline and is able, let's say Mars is dead, then you don't really have someone that can take out the Oracle. And we've seen what Oracle can do, especially in the OG series, where No-Tail just completely popped off.
Yeah, it's like later on in the game when you've got Aghanims on Invoker, right? Cataclysm, Arena, Supernova, then you're more of a cohesive unit.
SG Esports turn to
And another big ulti. It feels like that's what Fnatic are identifying themselves as right now, is that big wombo combo team fight galore.
Yeah, a lot of long cooldown ultis, so this should get punished. SG Esports, once again, even if, let's say, Oracle ulti is down, there's no Epicenter, there's no
5
Laguna
seconds
Blade. You can
remaining.
still take fights with these heroes, while on the other side, Fnatic, they rely on having Mars Arena, Egg, and Silencer ulti to be able to deal with them. Silencer's an okay response to Oracle, where let's assume that Oracle is good enough to preemptively use his Q and dispel global silence. Do you think that's going to happen this game, Gary?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to shut up so I could start talking. Yeah, that is something I always look forward to. When I see Oracle against Silencer, I think that one of the first people I saw do it was Pablo, the Swedish player, and he just blew my mind. Like, you can do that? Fortune's End yourself, get rid of the silence, and then start saving people. I think we'll see it.
Once. Okay.
turn to
I think
ban.
we'll see it once. Not a common occurrence. And there, Faceless Void, I think that's a solid ban. Get rid of yet another combo hero to go along with the Fnatic side.
That's a good ban. Eventually, Phoenix Egg, Sunstrike / Cataclysm, Silencer goes in. A lot of
10
long
seconds
cooldown
remaining.
ultis, but if they decided to pick Faceless Void, that'd be okay.
5 seconds
Now-
remaining.
Sand King is a really
SG
strong
Esports
laner.
turn
They
to
might
ban.
need to get something else. Silencer got nerfed as a position 5. I believe this is going to be a 5 silencer, but it's super annoying to play into. They also picked silencer into Oracle, which is not the greatest. Oracle kind of ruins the hero, has an ability to dispel things and
10
also
seconds
give you that
remaining.
magic immunity.
Yeah, that's a good point.
5 seconds
Things can get a
remaining.
little tricky.
So they might want to swap things around, have Oracle be matched against silencer in the lane.
So you do like Sanking Oracle, then Monkey +1.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Because if you have, let's say Monkey is position 4 with
Fnatic's turn
Sanking
to ban.
against Silencer, that just sounds horrible. Silencer
Yeah.
is going to have free time.
Ah, spam Arcane Curse. Push the wave out. Make sure Monkey King can't chase you. Well, SG, if it is a Monkey 4,
10
sorry, if
seconds
it is that Monkey
remaining.
kind of going into the other lane, if Oracle is with a Sanking, what do you
5
want up there
seconds
against a Mars and a
remaining.
Phoenix?
SG Esports turn to pick.
I was thinking about it's a really good PL game. If SG wants to go for it, Fnatic then still has one extra pick, and then they can pick carry that deals well. Sven is still available.
They do still respect the Mirana. We mentioned it game 1 against the Phoenix, knowing that
10
Adriana could take
seconds
it.
remaining.
But you do want someone with either like a natural dispel or
5
build Manta or
seconds
BKB
remaining.
that can handle all of this team fight from Fnatic. And also Costabile hero here.
A bit limited on tower damage if this Monkey King isn't position 1. Like you still need, I'm talking about
Fnatic's
tower
turn to
damage,
pick.
Man stands ready.
sieging the high ground, going for that, high ground push level 3, and this is what they needed. A bit more extra tower damage, and also a hero that builds into BKB, doesn't care too much about these spells. They have nothing that goes through magic immunity, so it looks
10
like a
seconds
good Sven
remaining.
game until we see the last pick from Fnatic.
That natural
5
BKB
seconds
carrier.
remaining.
Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? Right? Invoker mid, Sansa 5, Phoenix 4, Mars 3. And also the fact that you steal the Sven away from Raven so he can't play the Sven again. No Medusa, no Faceless Void. Oh, it's a tricky spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fnatic run through.
Maybe
another
Razor once again. I don't
Ooh.
mind seeing Razor.
Hmm.
Deals well with Sven. None of these heroes buy Lincoln Sphere. Sven's not a hero that wants to do it. It's a very costly item. 4 staff are one way to deal with it.
That seems pretty good. And it gives you a tempo hero that likes to play with teamfight ultis as well. Someone who's not just going to sit back and AFK farm, but actually wants to get involved with your Mars and your Phoenix early on. And yeah, they really
Either
are scratching their
that
heads about this
or
one.
TB. I think it's those two options. Terrorblade,
Because Terrorblade gives you tower push options.
yes, because they're really lacking some tower damage. Mars, Phoenix, Invoker, they don't provide you that. So TB checks a lot of the boxes. And what I said before, what did I say?
When?
Which hero did I suggest before Sven? Okay.
Not that one.
Choose your hero.
I thought they're not going to go for
God, what did you say? What did you
Spectre
say?
against Sven. I'm looking through the heroes. Can't find the hero that I suggested. Doesn't matter.
How did both Razor? You said Razor.
Oh, Razor. Yeah, this is what Fnatic picked yesterday as a response to... What was it yesterday?
Legion Commander.
Oh, yes. Just completely ruined Legion Commander in the lane. They still decide to go for Spectre. So Oracle, we talked about it, is not going to have a good time. Going to be a very good vision game from Spectre. And then you can just pop a silence, follow it up. Oracle's going to have a really, really good, really tough time.
Yeah, sure can be difficult. I'm wondering if Adriano on this lane is going to follow the
10
trend
seconds remaining.
that we've seen in terms of item builds, because Limp
5 seconds
yesterday he went
remaining.
boots of travel rush, then he went into BKB. We've seen the brown boots into BKB. Was it maybe that went like Dragon Lance, MKB?
There's a lot of different ways you can
There's
build
like no
Lina.
Yule Scepter anymore.
Sometimes people tend to get it. It was a game against Storm Spirit where you wanted to have Yules into LSA to have some kind of a lockdown in the game that we were casting. BKB is a must. Like BKB needs to be second, even first item if you consider like Boots of Travel not to be the first item. So definitely an earlier BKB to deal with the silence, deal with Phoenix. Phoenix is going to have a rough time. They have no BKB piercing abilities, so Lina pops the BKB, kills the egg. That's going to be her job, and to be able to blow up people.
We'll see what she gets up to. Are you leaning one way or the other? So I'm feeling SG after that Game 1 victory. Adriano, Lina, Tavo, Sand King. I feel like they've just got so many ways to enter these team fights. And again, if you remove one piece of Fnatic's draft, it feels like they could fall apart completely.
Give me a second, Gary. I got to reevaluate these two drafts.
Run the numbers. Get your big brain spreadsheet open. Beautiful Spectre set there for Raven. Up at the front, as we get ourselves into Game 2 here at this best of 2. TI10 group stage continuing. SG versus Fnatic.
Prepare for
And the
battle.
chat wheel meta is developing.
I'm leaning towards SG. I added all the numbers, did the math. From me, that would be like 57-43 for SG.
No decimal places in your numbers.
No need to. I'll have to round the numbers up.
That's nice. It makes everything very clear and concise. And yet again, we have this standoff in the mid lane. Are you a fan of this? How much emphasis there is around the mid lane, making sure that there's no observer wards, no sentries, no warding or de-warding going on?
There's a lot of mind games in Dota, especially on the mid lane. You do not want to get de-warded. We've seen teams prioritizing the high ground wards, because those don't get de-warded most of the time.
That's absolutely right. And still sticking around there. Waiting with 3 heroes for SG. Fnatic also bringing numbers down to the bottom rune spot. Yeah, SG sees with that high ground ward you mentioned, DJ and Raven arriving up top, so it looks like it might be 3 runes here for the Radiant, and only 1 goes the way of Fnatic.
I want to see how top lane goes. I think we need to watch the top lane. Big fan of Silencer stealing the int, and they have 2 melee heroes. So this Monkey King, I want to see how much he can do. DJ needs to be careful. If he gets caught out of the position, 1 stun, 1 Monkey King 3 dance, has Orb of Venom, he's just straight up dead.
Prediction updated. Schwen has hit an enemy hero. That better not pop up every 10 seconds. Already 2 CS for your Invoker mid, pushing the wave in towards Adriano. Was Monkey King just jump in, jump out? Doing the
He
hokey
secured
pokey.
the range creep and harassed Spectre a bit.
He's going to get chased back now, but he's fine. Definitely an irritating force up in that top lane. What do you reckon Tavo's doing here? Not leveling up any skills. Is he waiting to see if he can kill someone with stun?
I don't think they can get Kel level 1. He was just waiting, I guess, for Caustic to see if he can get any of the creeps low enough to be able to use it, push out the wave. Silencer's being very annoying with the Glaives level 1.
And a very good sentry place as well, right? Sees directly into that sandstorm. I'll try and hold the wave a little bit further back so Tavo can't get that free lane push and the free CS. They know there's a sentry though, just out of range of their own one. Well, that lane, not really going to have too much in the way of kill threat for the first couple of minutes. Mid lane Lina against Invoker, going to be pretty much a farm trade for the most part early on. 8-1 against 6-1, nothing really between the two. And bottom, Phoenix and Mars getting chased down. Fortune's End, but Sven unable to connect onto the Phoenix. Feels like much more likely for that bottom lane to have the aggression from both teams.
Keep the eye on the top lane, Garrett. This is where first blood's gonna happen.
Oh, you reckon?
Mid lane, I
gonna get
don't think Lina and Invoker should die to each other. Lina favoring Lina in this matchup because she just keeps spamming the spells. Fiery Soul is up. Jabs, half HP, has one healing self to work with.
Who's getting first blood, you reckon, then? The Monkey King?
I can't get into details, but watch the top lane.
Leaking information. Just enough to keep us interested. Not really any ability here to drag the wave back or anything. Radiant Sentry's blocked up that camp, so DJ can't pull. Is that, yeah, he's got a sentry coming, so he can remove the enemy ward.
Needs to be able to remove it. Sand King naturally pushes the lane with both Sandstorm and Caustic. So if that's not unblocked, the Holy Core playing a bit of aggressive on Silencer.
Yeah, he's making damn sure that he's not going to be able to get rid of that sentry anytime soon. So DJ going to have to come back and play the lane properly. And there's that Sandstorm dusting Tavo though. Raven and DJ, they make the move forward. Arcane Curse and a bit of damage from Raven, but the Monkey King battling back onto DJ. Still level 2, so no Boundless Strike to play around with. Taking a decent amount of damage there. This does all unlock that small camp for DJ at long last.
And Core will reward the big camp. So we can expect some pulling to happen. Oh, DJ needs to be careful here.
If he blocks it, make sure it doesn't spawn, and he's going to survive. Gives another round of Jingu there, though, to the Monkey King. At mid lane, start to see the gap created. Adriano on this Lina, making the most of that. Ooh, Raven. He's going to be okay. Already having spent the stun, the Sand King can't continue on.
There is healing ward on Silencer. We'll use it on Spectre immediately. A bit of a slow start because there are a couple of counters. Oracle can purge off spells from Phoenix. That limited mana has a couple of magic wand charges to work with, but they need to catch KJ out of position.
So far, his positioning has been spot on. Might check a spear onto Costabil, but him having 7 stick charges himself, also going to be perfectly fine. Nice little deny on the range creep there as well with the Purifying Flames. Fresh creep wave comes in, just purify, deny down the range creep.
Oh, DJ's in trouble.
DJ, he is being stunned up inside the Sandstorm. They dagger across, but the Jingu's already been built up. And first blood for Theolicor. I knew it'd be the Monkey King.
Told you it's gonna happen, Top Gary. You didn't believe me.
What?
Knew that it's gonna be 5 minutes, 20 seconds in. Monkey King. Just kidding. But yeah.
Have you seen this? Are they doing it every wave? Because that's 2 or 3 times in a row now. I've seen KJ purify, and then they right-click the range creep and kill it.
Just try to take it away. He has a couple of clarities. Claire just constantly running on him. KJ. Should be a kill.
Paying all of those range creeps he's been denying. And meanwhile, in towards the mid lane, a primal spring towards DJ. Doesn't catch, doesn't slow. EMP comes out, but Theo forced away. Thanks to Twent. So obnoxious laning against Alina, though. She's hit level 6. She's got a rune to grab up, but a Cold Snap Arcane Curse onto Theo. Ooh.
Oh!
Well, that Dragon Slave at level 4. Let's burst down the Silencer. And Twent now is going to be very wary of where he's standing. Forced a tornado and back himself out.
4DR gets kill with the Dragon Slave. We can call it 4DR
Agon Slave.
Slave. Yeah, there you go. Going into Boots of Travel, we talked about the items from Lina. I assume this is going to be Boots of Travel into BKB and then just get damage.
It feels like that's the way to go nowadays. Bots, BKB, then think about, do I need MKB, Daedalus?
I think it's fine to get Crystallis as damage and then see whether it's necessary to upgrade it, get it potentially a Silver Edge.
Yeah,
you can play that kind of a game. A break against Spectre is going to be great.
Oh yeah, so that's a really good point, isn't it? Yeah. Just the small crit, super handy. So it's giving you options of itemization.
Spectre has Haunt available. Let's see where they decide to make action. Mars about to hit level 6 after this wave, so they could potentially kill Costabil. Would need to bring 1 extra hero on the bottom.
Yeah, and Mars with no Soul Ring, no bottle, pretty low on the mana pool.
Fnatic wants Lina. She's out of mana. Cold Snap.
AP Tornado, but they've got the help behind with a Sun Ray, just not enough to stop Raven. Charging forward, Jam's body blocking in as well. KJ, even though he came in to try and heal up the Lina, he's going to be falling himself. Quickly kills off Jams, but loses his life as now Turbo arrives. Raven in the Sandstorm, but the dust back from DJ as a two-man balance strike from Theo connects. Chuen and Raven stuck behind this tier 1 tower, and DJ comes out with a double kill. Theo, oh, the tornado clips him. Ghost Walk at the ready for Chuen as well. Looking to slip away from danger, but another Primal Spring is there. Theo with a dust. He's going to find Chuen's Invoker, but they turn back with a Cold Snap. And DJ, is he going to grab a triple kill? Oh, it was a little bit too late, but he will be found now by Adriano and Costabil deep in that Radiant jungle.
Doesn't matter. Silencer got what he came for. He stole 8 intelligence in that fight. Deep Observer Ward placed on the high ground. Unfortunately, Oracle was not fast enough to use the Fortune Send. Could maybe make a bit of a difference there, but good thing is that Spectre, Spectre died, right? She did die. Yeah, Monkey King managed to get the kill. I was expecting them to make a rotation on the bottom, try to find Sven. Sven is level 6, about to hit level 7, while Mars is 7 already.
So what was that? They brought 4 heroes into mid. They get a couple of kills, but yeah, you're right. They don't convert that into an objective. They don't stop Sven from farming. And SG getting a couple of kills in return. Now, they put their fighting boots on. Smoking into the Dire jungle.
Oh.
Dire scan, but it's Raven
Adriano
that's being hunted. Boundless into the chain stun. Raven tries to dagger away, but that long-range attack from the Lina.
They even get the courier. Lina with the boots of travel. They were smoked. Tumbler's Toy to follow up the Monkey King stun. Sometimes all these small things come in very nicely together. KJ.
Oh, the arena misses. He's outside the arena, just a spectator, not a gladiator. Still getting pummeled, though, and speared against the tree line. But Tarvo here with an epicenter burrow strike. Is he going to burrow? He's waiting for it. Just right-clicking into DJ and lining up the two-man stun instead. Now Death inside the Sandstorm. But where is the backup from SG? Nothing else coming. It's just Tarvo alone down here.
Silencer, position 5, will always trade any kind of kill to steal the intelligence, especially on the heroes who have a limited mana pool, like Monkey King, Sand King.
Also a good EMP placement. KJ is going to dodge away from it, so he does have False Promise ready and available as Chuen. Fortune's End and the dust inside the Ghost Walk, but revealed by the Monkey King. That deafening blast, too little, too late. And now the trade not worthwhile for Fnatic as SG defend this tier 1 bottom with everything they've got.
Fnatic going in a bit too deep. Invoker. Finishing off Urn. And then buying Gloves of Haste. Has a Spirit Vessel also in the quick buy. Wants to be able to get some levels. So I assume that's going to be Hand of Midas. Then go for that Spirit Vessels. Oh, another good stun.
Yeah, they find Death. I stuck around far too long there. Jabs had Supernova, but wasn't really in fighting shape. Not nearby enough. And now Chuen comes bottom. Fnatic really want to keep pressuring this tier 1 tower.
Last game on Venomancer, Tavo was kind of struggling early on. This game, he's completely popping off. All over the place, he's been involved in 5 kills, has a Blink Dagger, 11 minutes in, on top of Tranquil Boots, Soul Ring, Wand. Unfortunately, it does not have an Epicenter ready at the moment, but they can still, go in and make stuff happen.
And he's so safely just creating this barrier in front of the bottom tower. There's a lot of drawing going on the map. A couple of seconds ago, Costabil signaling he wanted to stay and farm out this extra bit of jungle before falling back towards his triangle. While Fnatic, they've got to know there are some stacks being made by SG, and that's what they're looking to contest. Costabil trapped in the arena, and a good haunting from Raven will take down the Sven. I don't know, can they contest this stack of Ancients?
They don't have enough. They
With
just
no
don't have
Blade
enough
Mail
damage.
Spectre.
Yeah, exactly. Blade Mail is coming right now, but it would take too much time. They know that Tavo has a Blink Dagger. He showed it on the bottom, blinked in and used Sandstorm, so they know they need to be careful about that. Global Silence is available. Spectre, we see different builds.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
New kind of a build is get Falcon Blade. I'll hold that thought. Never mind, DG just died. Position 5. And then get the Aghanim Scepter, or you get Echo Saber, disassemble Echo, get Ags, and then get Orchid to be able to kill people with it. But this time around, getting a Blade Mail, I think that's a correct choice. You're playing into Sanking, you're playing into Sven, even Lina, so you get on top of people and you're still gonna reflect damage.
Yeah, it does help you farm as well. If you're trying to keep up with the likes of Sven. 5,000 net worth Spectre. Sven sitting about 5.5. Could have been a much bigger gap. I think the big surprise though is Lina, 7,500 net worth. Adriano having a spectacular early game. That's the majority of the net worth lead here for them, is coming out of that Lina. Now you mentioned early on this Monkey King itemization as actually we have a bit of a go here from Fnatic onto Theo.
They will delay what you were about to say. They will delay that item.
What's so good about Mage Slayer or Monkey King?
It's just a perfect item on Monkey. It gives you that magic resistance that you need. You're playing position 4, you're going to be jumping in. It works with Wukong's command, and a lot of spell damage coming out from Fnatic's heroes.
Tavo. Oh, he's dancing to a beautiful beat there as he jumps in and misses out on his Burrow Strike. Shouldn't have hesitated. Shouldn't have fake pumped that ulti so much, and he gets turned back on by Chuen and DJ. Still not going to survive though with 8-1 charges up his sleeve. Jabs is lurking just up the staircase.
Pumped it too many times.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Unfortunate situation for him.
Still no global silence being used. I think it's going to be a smoke into global silence. This is a reveal of Mars Blink Dagger, so time to hunt. If they can catch Sven one more time, that'd be great.
It feels like the sad thing is though, they came in, they spotted the stacks, they killed the Sven, but he respawned, cleared them anyway, and now it's KJ who's in the triangle, the only casualty that they can try and bring down, and he can't false promise in time. But that's Arena and Sunstrike used to pick off that lowly position 5.
That's completely fine. He took one for the team. Instead of Sven getting ganked, he was getting into the triangle.
Excellent.
Radiant are scanning.
It's been good usage of the map by SG. Radiant scanning, making sure Costabile can continue farming the triangle. On the bottom lane, some farm priority for Theo.
Monkey position 4 is very greedy. I think you need to play greedy with this hero because you scale. You get Mage Slayer, you don't get boots. I've seen people just completely skipping boots on the hero. You can get one more damage item, potentially a Diffusal Blade. Doesn't sound too bad to keep them inside. I've also seen either a Mel. Oh, he got caught mid-air.
Oh, there he goes for the Wukongs. A spear takes him to the trees. Pretty long cooldown to be spent though, as Theo tries to TP. Any more stuns? You know, he's home, he's got free.
Being able to get out while all this is happening, SG, they're inside the pit.
Yeah, meanwhile, in Roshan land, there's Gold Strength being popped by the Sven. And Adriano with a fresh BKB as they try and jump Chuen. Tavo missing out on yet another Burrow Strike though. Off the mark a couple times in a row now.
God Strength running out in 10-15 seconds.
Oh, and there we go. He doesn't miss out on that one. The global comes. Adriano's BKB that allows him to shred through death. Tavo's still stuck on that high ground and unable to contend with the Supernova. Means Theo Licorne going to get hunted down. Silenced up.
No BKB on Adriano. Roshan, 1/3 of HP.
Can they finish off that Roche? No, Fnatic absolutely can't. Oh, the Grove Bow for Lina. Feels good to be Adriano right now. Top of the net worth. 4-1-0. Chrysalis queued up.
Yeah, as suggested, this item just feels really natural for Lina, especially in this type of a game where you don't want to rely on your Sven to just deal all the physical damage, and we'll see what his next item is going to be. I suggested Shadow Blade and then upgrade it to Silver Edge to be able to break Spectre. I would definitely love to see it.
Makes a lot of sense. And of course, Sven working on his BKB. Can clear out that top lane and reconsider their options around Roshan in the next minute or so. Because they've got this really perfect vision. Deep Observer Ward past the outpost, one a little shallower. So they know exactly when and if Fnatic come to contest the pit. Dire scan it. They still see the Sven though with their own Observer Ward. Very sneakily placed. Offset from that cat in
SG
the
wants to
jungle.
take the fight. They know there's no global. Sven jumping in.
It just cleaves through the Phoenix like that. Tavo's Epicenter not connecting onto anyone. Oh, KJ gets the False Promise out just in time. The Tornado's good, well placed. Is that Life Striker 8 misses out onto Chuen's Invoker. Wukong's arriving now with another good Burrow Strike. Tavo's in, onto death, and the Mars is in trouble, but the Purifying Flame's actually healing him up. Adriano blows through
Another
DJ,
buyback.
and a buyback from the Silencer now as Kostabil looks for jabs, takes him down yet again. The dieback on Phoenix should signal the end of the fight for Fnatic.
Tavo still thinking about going in.
He wants it. A two-man. He's got them stunned up, but a great spear stops Adriano from connecting any further. DJ, he's invising the Shadow Amulet.
Now it's time to finish off the Roche. Sven does not have a God Strength. Roshan at half HP, a bit more, 60%. Let's see if they decide to go in or they go back to farming.
Oh, there's some striking.
Adriano deeping back to the bottom lane. Crystal is done, level 16. 30 damage, 350 HP talent into... Yeah, you just get the Fiery Soul per stack. And then get the attack range.
Yeah,
Lina
right,
becomes
left,
a monster. Satanic, great item in this game, being able to just deal damage, have another way of dispelling things. Still doesn't have anything queued up on Lina.
Considering their options, Fnatic, the onus is on them to make something happen. They've got these long cooldown abilities. They've
They
got
wanna
these
smoke.
teamfight ultis. They want to smoke. They want to fight. Get something to go their way. Lift their spirits and build a bit of momentum.
Sven getting very close to BKB. Will disassemble Echo Saber, just 500 gold away from the recipe, and then go back to Echo Saber. Buy one more Ogre Axe.
Okay, Jay yet again the target. Trying to heal himself up. False Promises off cooldown, but chain stun before he can save himself.
Fnatic, they needed to get more. 2 big ultis expended just for a position 5 once again.
Yeah, Haunt and that arena.
Stop it, Tavo. Every single time he does that, I move my camera to see if he's actually casting the ulti.
Where is he? What's he doing? What's he up to? Still some pretty good vision for Fnatic, but like you say, they don't feel like they've got the impetus it needs to actually go and make a move somewhere without every single ulti available. While SG, they can fight it, any given time really. Just the fact that Lina and Sven can cycle through their abilities. Well, it looks like Lina starting to decide what she wants. Daedalus, Satanic, queued up.
Radiant's middle tower.
So not the
is
Silver
under
Edge,
attack.
but a Satanic, like you suggested. Why change your mind, though? More often than not, you're right about these kind of things. Don't know if they force the BKB from Adriano.
He's gonna hold it. No need. Knows there's no Spectre ulti to be able to jump him. Sven pops another God Strength.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very patient from Adriano. TPing top now to rejoin the squad. Roshan. Mage Slayer debuff, very pretty. Theo with BKB queued up next. Really is a greedy fall, like you said, isn't it? You get
really
some farm
is.
priority, you get
Radiant's
an
bottom
item.
tower is under attack.
I've seen position 4 monkeys just completely taking over the game. Like, you become another core, especially if you have 3 cores. It's one of those games, let's say...
It's like
you
a win
get-
more hero.
Yeah, pretty much. You are the last one who's alive, you get a couple of levels, solo experience, you get all the gold, and then for the next fight you have this Mage Slayer. It keeps you alive for the next fight, so you are once again standing, the only one alive. It's just, I feel in this meta you can get away with so many greedy stuff. Aghanim Scepter done on Invoker, so that means Cataclysm. Not sure if they have enough stuns for Cataclysm. Their only stun is Spear.
It's like 5-man arena and hope for a big Cata. Supernova spent by Jabs, and they're not going to focus it down, respecting the reactions of Fnatic there as Theo and Tavo tried to pair up for a quick kill, but again, just removing an element of Fnatic's team fight, always going to be incredibly important for you. Still going to lose Tavo to that spear. Attempted Tornado, attempted Sunray, not going to find the Monkey King. Hiding up in the treetops. Star Observer Ward sees the courier. Adriano hides it a little bit further to the left in the trees. How far is he? He can afford it. Does he need buyback? Nah, he doesn't. He's got an Aegis. Theo, on the other hand, doesn't have either of those things. Buys his Mithril Hammer and dies.
Try to go for a cute little play. Use the magic wand. Mischief. They didn't fall for it. Spectre finally gets her big item. Manta style done. Going into Scotty next. Just wants to tank up. Haven't seen too much of Raven. Usually Spectre's a bit more active because they go for a different kind of a build. Getting that Aghanim Scepter and then having another way of jumping and being active on the map. So he's silently farming, mostly Triangle, when Triangle is voided / devoided right now.
I mean, what would you call this? Like, if we said old school Spectre build, I would think
This is it.
Radiance. But this is like the middle school Spectre build.
I kind of forgot about Spectre Radiance build.
Okay.
It's an old school one, but considering we have a new one, I think
So
this is the old school
So
build. what
Radiance
he's
build's
doing
like
right
the Boomer
now.
build.
Yeah.
Right. And here comes SG again. They are pinging across to this right-hand side, but Fnatic, the vision advantage is theirs. Everything ready. Arena, Supernova, BKB on death. And they want to make a jump, but I don't know if they can kill Adriano. Oh, it's a good spear back into the tower. Sunstruck down to a third of her HP, and Adriano loses the Aegis.
Holding a BKB, Egg will explode a bit early.
And they lose death. So a 1-for-1 trade, spending two ulti, just one ulti, right? They didn't arena, just a spear back into the Supernova. But SG coming out on top.
They got the tier 2 tower, they can take the outpost. I guess the reason why Lina didn't go for Shadowblade / Silver Edge is because Sven, we don't know what's happening in their team comp, so he wants to get one. Being able to break Spectre and have another way of initiation is always going to be great. You can solo kill people with it, so Sven getting it, that means Lina does not need to get it. Might decide to go for it if she feels like it's necessary, if Spectre gets too big.
That's a nice grab for Jabs. Heaven's Halberd against the Lina in particular. Disarm against the ranged artillery. Incredibly important for them.
Lina just got level 20, so that means even more attack speed.
Oh, that saved Jabs' life as well. Good BKB TP.
He knows it's fine.
Out of there.
There are no BKB piercing abilities. They can't stop the BKB TP out, so uses this instantly.
Goes to be also TPing away from that bottom lane because Chwen, he's on the hunt. Spots out KJ. Quick little cold snap with the ice path as well. And turn around from Theo. Forces Chwen to consider his options. And they're still going to hunt down KJ, it looks like. Not really a great way to escape here. He can false promise, he can juke, he can jive, but surrounded by Fnatic's side, he will eventually lose his life.
This could have been an easy kill if Tao decided to go in, but they had no vision. Haunt.
Oh, they are hunting Adriano now as well. Yeah, you're right, the Haunt onto a Lina with no BKB, no Aegis. Tava with a couple of men hit with a stun, and Adriano gets a kill, but Fnatic swarming around the SG side get themselves 3 in a row.
Sven, unfortunately, did not have a TP available. Very important, pay attention. You don't have a TP, you lose a fight. He TP'd somewhere, so
Well, he
wasn't...
he was here and he TP'd back.
wasn't able to connect with the team. They definitely need Sven to win a fight. Now he has a silver edge, so break mechanic, but this was a big W for Fnatic. Getting a couple of kills, only losing Phoenix.
Yeah, it was curious, right? Like Adriano TP's out of mid, Sven TP's out of bottom lane, KJ gets gone on, and then even without BKB, without Aegis, without Sven, they consider it as a potential fight they wanted to take. But Fnatic were ready for them.
There was a small window for Tavo to jump, but he thought the whole team is behind Invoker, did not want to go in. Especially if, yeah. Because Invoker aggressively blinked in, didn't have full HP, so they had time, but unfortunately no vision. And there's always a chance that Silencer is going to pop the global.
Yeah,
Psychic Headband, Paladin Sword for Fnatic.
Titan Sliver. Some big items there for Fnatic.
I love that. Spectre trying to decide, you know, holding a silver, the status resistance, neutral item plus Elven Tunic. Decide, you know, which one she wants to take. Took him like 30 seconds. All right, I'm keeping the evasion.
Yeah, against the Sven and Lina makes a lot of sense. Now is that Sven with a completed silver edge. Satanic queued up next. Doesn't go for the creep wave clear. Lina shows and Sven plays forward with the Sand King. Expecting a response here from Fnatic, but they're nowhere to be seen. It does appear they want to smoke though. Gathering up in their triangle, clearing the Ancients on Raven. DJ, Death and Jabs. Time to wander across the map. Aim towards the heart of SG territory. And aim towards your observers as well. Fnatic playing into their own vision and spotting the smoke from SG as well.
That's the ward you do not expect
really
them
don't.
to have.
This could be big for them. Roshan fast spawn in 15 seconds. Let's see if we're blessed with a quick spawn.
Probably gonna be 2 minute plus.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 minutes 15 seconds again, like the 10th time in a row.
Sven ready to go in.
Hello, DJ. Goodbye, DJ. 1 minute 35. Not so bad.
This is something that Fnatic did yesterday, one of their series, when they had Nature's Prophet, who was planting a deep vision in the lanes to spot any kind of smoke movement and give them the potential to gank. Right now they have one scouting out the tier 2 tower on the mid lane, and also the one that you showed on top.
Yeah. All of their wards are kind of in weird places, right? They've got the Tinker ward, the 2 lane wards you mentioned, and that's a normal ward there, but they're trying very hard to stop SG from dewarding their vision. Rest in peace, Forge Spirit. You will be remembered. So the play now for both teams is that move into Roshan, isn't it? SG want it to try and close out this game and go high ground, and Fnatic need it to hold on to this map. Extend the game out and get the Spectre even bigger.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Max TP's top. Tier 2 looks like it's on its last legs. 74 HP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
SG not finishing it off though.
Radiant's structures are
And Fnatic playing into the Radiant Vision.
Global.
The arena's there. I mean, you also have to have from Tavo and DJ dead before he can even global, but Costabil has used God Strength and BKB for a position 5 kill.
top tower has fallen.
He should not be that quick on using a BKB because there are no stuns. Like, he can get stunned by Mars, and that's pretty much it. When they use their tools, then he should pop a BKB.
Very fortunate after popping God Strength that Roshan respawns. Literally the second after that kill on DJ,
Silencer
Roshan's
will
return.
buy back. He sees this, he will probably buy back and use global if they decide to go in.
They don't. They don't go for it, and Theo shows off his own BKB. No Wukong's here, and he's being shredded by the Spectre. Death has wandered into the middle of the rest of SG. TP out from Adriano as the Supernova inside the pit will force them away. 2 kills coming through from Fnatic though after the buyback from Silencer, allowing them to dispatch with the Monkey and the Oracle, while Costabil with no BKB hides away in the trees.
This has always been the strength of a Silencer position 5. You die and you can help your team with just buyback and instantly using a spell, which he did.
Was it me and you casting back in the day when we had a game Silencer sat in the fountain for like 20 minutes?
It was against
Who was
Enigma.
it?
I'm not sure who it was, but Silencer did not leave the base. So Silencer was sitting near the tier 3 towers.
It was like Lanham or someone like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
While tier 2 tower was still alive, and he was just waiting for Enigma. I think he managed to farm Refresher.
Yeah.
And was just sitting in base. Did not want to leave the base.
Yeah, legitimately sitting in base just waiting for global. Man, that takes me back. That, like you say, that's the strength of the Silencer, right? You've got that trump card to team fights. Global silence shuts everybody up. Oh, Death queuing up Eon Disc. Mars wanting to make sure that he can always be impactful in these team fights.
It's not going to be always. Stormhammer, Shard upgraded by Sven. Usually we don't see that, but it would be good in the previous game. And in this game also, I think a lot of value, especially if anyone decides to go. Like, it dispels the Glimmer Cape as well, so makes a lot of sense. People stopped doing that.
Yeah, they did.
It was tied to his talent. And then it got moved to Shard. People were like, gold? I'm not spending gold on this. It was free
1.4K.
before.
That's a component of my Satanic that I'm wasting money on. Yeah, when you mentioned it, muscle memory kicked in. I hovered over the talents and I was like, no, that's not where it goes anymore. There's the Aghanim Shard. 2 lanes trending towards the Dire base now, though. And with SG holding Aegis on Lina, I feel like they can reasonably safely move up to this tier 3 tower, chip away at it. They don't need anyone to go actual high ground. They can sit back, launch Lina's attacks at it, wait with the blink daggers in the wings, hide away in the trees, and if anybody from Fnatic steps even remotely too far forward, now the barrier of entry, Death is going to move in there, blink Arena, but the BKB quickly from the Sven. They get the tornado onto the Monkey King, EMP as well. Theolicore doesn't have any real way to try and disengage apart from trying to walk it off as the Sunstrike misses out.
So no global, no Spectre ulti, they're ready to go in. KJ will do his job, heal up the teammates, and they're gonna be ready to go. Sven still has a God Strength, no BKB for 25, but Satanic is ready.
3 green dots missing from that Dire team, like you're saying. They do get another one of these wards down to try and give them that team fight vision, but sentries placed. We'll be able to remove that, and a blink stun in. Tavo with Costa Beal, a double stun lands. Raven looking like he's in trouble as well. Man to try and remove himself from this fight, but Adriano, he's been speared back in to get the hits towards him. Fortunately for Fnatic, Raven survives,
got
but the
Sword.
Supernova
Can they get
is
it?
being pummeled.
They can. He used Heaven's Halberd on Lina before, buyback coming out from Phoenix. But no Invoker, he does not have a buyback. Did not click his mouse, did not click the keyboard. Black King bar not used. Also handled Midas. Oh, this is pretty big.
9-second BKB, no buyback available. Doesn't have the money for it. And SG coming for your buildings. Adriano, 40 seconds left on the Aegis. Plenty of time here to look towards the middle lane of barracks. And again, it's not just about the buybacks, it's about these teamfight ultis. No Supernova, you don't have the combo with the Arena. No Haunt for 50 seconds. No Silencer or Global for 20. Well, that's tripping. That was tripping me out. There's a boundless strike from a tree.
There's a weapon coming out of the tree.
It's like a chameleon sticking his tongue out to catch a fly. All of a sudden, appearing from nowhere. I don't know if I'd call this disciplined or a little bit scared from SG. I guess Aegis is expiring, but do you think they could have gone for that Rax finish in the mid lane?
Possibly, no need to risk anything, and we can see that again. They just jumped the Invoker, managed to delete him before he got anything off. Even Raven was very low. If Lina got 1 crit, I believe that would be a certain death.
Dire are scanning.
I was always surprised by some of the decisions. Like Sven, level 25, that's 25 movement speed. I know he doesn't have an inventory slot, put in a Windlace, which is 20 movement speed and costs, like, let's say it's a 300 gold item, instead of taking the 10 War Cry. Like 10 armor is 1400 gold.
Yeah.
Times 5 if you use it on 5 heroes.
Oh. Oh, Death gets his BKB off fast and a good Cataclysm. Oh, they get Coach to Bill. Spectre's in. The bash there towards them. Theo's BKB inside the Wukongs, but the Invoker's cleared through KJ now. Raven picks up a wicked 6 streak, and the Spectre has finally arrived on the scene to play some Dota 2.
Man, Fnatic, this is the only stun pretty much that they got. The instant initiation with the Mars Spear.
They got Lina. She didn't BKB before TPing. Adriana's been caught down now. They're going to get 2 of the big calls here, and SG made to pay.
Talking about the mistakes, this one cost Lina. She does not have a buyback, so there's going to be some build-ins taken by Fnatic. BKB is already down to 6 seconds, so it's when you're TPing out like that, like you gotta use it. They managed to use the Cataclysm and the Spear combo, Spectre with the Haunt and the Illusions on Sven. He just melts, even though he's sitting at 3,500 HP. Didn't feel like it's a Sven, right?
No,
Radiant
disappeared.
Yeah, I would like to see that again if possible.
And the speed at which Death BKB'd as well. It felt like he preemptively BKB'd when that fight started. Yeah, they find the Invoker, stun him up, and Trent checked off in the tree line, which was after his teammates had all TP'd back home.
tower is under attack.
Getting a little bit sloppy from both sides.
Oh, I like this from Mars. Refresher. Yep, double ulti, double spear, like double BKB also sounds good. Double Eon Disc is good in theory.
In practice?
In practice, not as much. Your Eon Disc procs, and then they hit you once, it procs again.
Yeah.
But still, you get the status resistance, and you can't die.
It's not too bad. That's pretty good. Penta-edged sword. Custodial Sven. Flicker. See if that goes on the Sand King or the Oracle. KJ says that's mine. Spectre picking up a couple of juicy items as well. Ascetic Cap, incredibly good on her.
Status resistance, every single time a debuff is applied. A bit of HP, some regen. At this point, regen doesn't matter that much.
And this sweep across the map did get spotted by Fnatic.
That's all he wanted. He wanted to proc that Eon Disc, and he did. Needed to use a BKB.
He did. I guess now, Eon Disc, 165-second cooldown. It's a long old time for poor old Mars.
Spectre with the Abyssal Blade is now a real threat to Sven. With the bash, with another ability to stun him during BKB, even though BKB is down to 6 seconds. 5% extra dispersion coming out from level 25 talent in Spectre, so she becomes insanely tanky.
I find it interesting, Spectre's walking around with dust and wards and stuff as well at this point. Raven's the one that feels bold enough to move high ground and actually play in towards the enemy team as they double stun up Raven. Massive kill on the Spectre's found, but the buyback and the Haunt comes in. The Cataclysm landing in. Jams with that Supernova
haunt
coming through, and the Sand King's dead. Wukong's command looked good, but they're going to find the disarm and the pick off on Kostabeel.
And guess what?
4-for-1, and Roshan's alive.
It also has Refresher. Like, they definitely love to see this Refresher being picked up. You can use it on Spectre, you can use it on Mars, Invoker's Cataclysm, double BKB. It was such a great play. This is something that they've done on position 5 Silencer, where they buy back. Same thing they can do with Spectre. He goes in and just deals a ton of damage with the Blade Mail, with the Dispersion. Spectre's the one who's holding the Refresher for now. Let's see if she decides to give it to someone. Double damage also picked up.
DD Spectre. Do they want to push actually up into high ground? The longer this game goes, it feels like Fnatic...
It gets easier for Fnatic, no doubt about it.
Getting easier and easier. And we still don't have, Ags or Shard on the Spectre. Buying a BKB next. Down goes the tier 2 as Death breaches high ground with Raven. Where's Chuen? Chuen, Midasing creeps off to the right-hand side. He's got himself that timeless relic. So much damage coming out of the Cataclysms. A good 20 seconds with no Sven. Lina might be forced to BKB here as they don't land the spear.
If they can kill Sven one more time, there's going to be global up in 15 seconds for Supernova. Spectre ulti in 40. Still holding that refresher. Double Abyssal Blade potentially, which is going to be good on Sven. They can blow him up. Sven goes in on Spectre, but the Dispersion, like you get on top, Dispersion deals more damage the closer you are, so Sven needs to be close. And that means he's going to disperse a lot of damage in AoE.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, especially with God Strength. Cost the bill. Buyback.
Here we go.
Not available. He does not have enough gold.
1,000 off it. Lina does. Invoker, Sand King, Sansa, and Oracle. All with buybacks. But Fnatic, yet again, feeling something's not quite right. They backpedal, they smoke. They want to take things on their own terms. We've seen how well things can go when they do get that sweet initiation.
Green dots for Fnatic are ready. Mars now refresher done, and just 1-2 creeps away from level 25.
Green means go. Illusion Rune for Raven as well. And that can very nicely push out that bottom lane, which is contending with the super creeps. Kostabil is already TP'd out at top, which is where the rest of Fnatic were. A little hunter-gatherer party. God's Rebuke. Crit now up.
I thought he might go for 180 HP region
With
inside.
double arena,
yeah,
right?
with double arena.
It would have made sense. But I guess if they want to burst these heroes and get that numbers advantage as swiftly as possible. The other talent also pretty handy.
Invoker also hit level 25. Radial Deafening Blast, so that's going to be tough to deal with once the BKBs
Radiant's
are
top
gone.
tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Even though SG are slightly ahead in the net worth, 45 minutes in, that is close to meaningless. It's all down to this team fight execution. How well can Fnatic pick their targets? How can they jump the Lina? Where can they find the Sand King?
Monkey King has a nullifier, so that's another way of dealing with the...
Tavo forces the Eon
He
Disc.
goes in.
And the first arena. Self-Yules and Lotus Orb there from the Sand King as he backs himself away from Fnatic's aggression.
Pay attention, this is why you buy Refresher. You fail one spell, so you can have another one. Maybe
well,
even fail that one.
Kostabil, he's found the two supports immediately, but now he's inside the arena. Abyssal Bladed Cataclysm, there's no saving him. He's dead. Buyback forced out, but Theo in his own BKB as Adriano Laguna plays towards them. In comes the rest of
the
Fnatic.
deafening blast.
Epicenter there onto Chuen. They've got the pick off and Invoker potentially with a Primal Spring. They absolutely do. Theo the Core with a Boundless Strike slams it to death, and Raven, it looks like he's pretty much the last one standing at this point, but he's tanky.
Everyone's
He's got a
flying
lot
back.
of damage. The stuns though, Tavo and Adriano hold back Raven Spectre, and the multi-buyback from Fnatic. Everyone returns to the battlefield.
I think Fnatic wants to, to take a couple of seconds and reset. There's a huge wave in their base, so someone needs to address that. Spectre used the Refresher, the double ulti. Sven, one of the heroes that you do not want to buy back on if you don't have your BKB or ulti ready.
Quadruple buyback from Fnatic. Aegis still in the hands of Spectre, but only for another 10 seconds.
SG realized we don't want to focus the Spectre because we are just going to deal ourselves quite a lot of damage. Invoker trying to get the Eon Disc. Let's see that again. Great to jump there from Sven to be able to delete both of these supports immediately, and then gets jumped by a Spectre. Abyssal Blade, a Bash. It's a bit too much. Those illusions deal a ton of damage. SG realizes we can focus the Spectre, so let's just go for someone else. Tavo in the back lines. Good jump. Invoker didn't even pop a BKB. He had enough time.
He does now have a refresher orb, though. As Kostabil going to BKB TP. Raven can't close the gap for the Abyssal Blade or the bashes quite in time. And whose is this? Sven refresher orb. We've got refreshers galore, don't we? Invoker, Mars, Sven. And who else? Let's just get refreshers on everybody.
That's pretty much it. Only couple of refreshers in game. Monkey King hit level 25, additional Wukong's command ring. And he also has a nullifier that I started to talk about. So Eon Disc are not going to be as good. We'll manage to deal with the potential 4-steps save or Glimmer Caves.
Lots of ideas on what the teams want to do next with the drawings on the map. Monkey King signaling that this bot lane is continually moving into the dire base. Well, it looked like KJ was saying, let's go farm triangle. Let's go push out top. Think about the next Roshan to really secure and ram this one home.
Invoker just used Cataclysm to scout things out, see where they are.
Kostabil back into his triangle. Well, Theo looking to try and de-ward the vicinity. SG all grouping up together. Gem Monkey King will remove the majority of the vision here from Fnatic. But it's another very similar move. I think the past 3 moves have been... Oh, DJ, what have you done? Oh, yes.
Oh, that's
stylish.
Gotta give him points for that.
Yeah, he made a mistake, -1 point. The drift, the drift drive-by pickup of the gem, +2 points. Hey, Tavo finds the catch, blink stun in, chain it up, combo down, gem is down, and Kostabil, he's angling for more. The Mars Arena and that Eon Disc popped down as Raven holds in. The Cataclysm comes. Kostabil needs saving. Massive damage, though, has landed on his head as Tavo epicenters in towards Raven. The Spectre nearly dead. Raven's falling very quickly, but has buyback available. Just no way into the fight again.
Sven managed to get off the Satanic, and they were not able to get him from 100 to 0. Invoker needs to get out, has buyback available in 4 minutes, so he needs to be very careful how he plays.
And this time, KJ, with that false promise, and like you mentioned, the Satanic on the Sven, able to keep Kostabil alive through the entirety of the fight. And a double damage rune has spawned bottom. Do you want that on Adriano, or do you want it on Kostabil?
That seems like it's going to be Kostabil.
Oh. Hey.
Thinking about it.
Adriano was on his way.
You want it?
I think they were fighting
You can
over
take it. No, do you want it? I'll take it if you don't want it. I mean, if you really don't want it, I'll just, I'll grab it and I have double damage.
But I wanted it.
I mean, you should have said so.
That's what it's like playing with Lacoste in real life, by the way.
And then after you die, you're like, maybe I should have taken it.
Imagine if I had the DD rune there, guys. Like, watch this next fight.
Imagine if Lina had DD here. Like, this
Easy
set of
buildings.
barracks would already be gone.
They would be at tier 4s. The throne would be dead already, wouldn't it?
Has fallen.
Fnatic do have a glyph to play around with. And once again, SG, they move in, claim 1 objective, back up. Very disciplined. Just wanting to keep the lanes pressuring in towards that dire side.
Next set of buybacks will be available in 2 minutes. Roshan. A lot of presents from the big boy. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher, and Axe.
And absolutely no contest from Fnatic. With no Spectre, there's no fight in them. Wait, did Phoenix just buy 2 tomes?
This is something that IG has done in the first season and especially during the major, just stacking the tomes.
Oh yeah. So you wait to see who's going to get level 25?
Exactly. If
That
you don't
makes
need it,
sense.
it doesn't make much sense if you're level 18, if you're level 21, if you're 18 and you're to level 20, it doesn't do anything significant. So if it's HP talent or whatever, it's kind of a waste, so you keep them.
So which talent are you taking here as the Phoenix? The percentage to keep Spectre alive?
Yeah, I think Supernova, it's still gonna die,
If you don't have Ags, it's like whatever.
because Lina can easily kill it in the team fight.
True, true.
Sanking took the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, so that means Burrow Strike adds Caustic. And of course, the increased range.
Yeah, it's so nice having that extra range. Not as heavily reliant on your Blink Dagger anymore. Fnatic not giving up though. A very tight series and another tight game between these two. The one-hit creep wave. Coastabile make sure that mid lane and the other core make sure that top lane are trending in towards that dire base, while Trent desperately scrambling to make any kind of space across the other side of the map for themselves. But eventually you will have to face your opponents. You will have to battle 5v5. Death. Tavo, the two-man, burrows through them. And in comes Coastabile. They found jabs. No buyback, no supernova, no nothing. Coastabile's going to refresh himself up. He's got that BKB yet again and aims towards the towers while
Buyback
this
available
poor
on
Raven
Phoenix now.
Spectre destroyed by the Lina. In comes the Cataclysm though. Oh, that false promise onto the Sven will keep him up and running. Adriano picked off by the Spectre. Another stun, the Balance Strike, and the Wukong's is there. Meatball's landing, Coastabile, he's going to get popped, but it's the Aegis that gets claimed. While Theo, he's hunting DJ all the way towards this dire fountain.
Silver Edge available. LSA gonna land on 2.
Oh, but Sven doesn't turn around to fight. They get the Laguna Blade in towards them, and the Invoker's gone. Tavo once more. This man with the Burst Strike just finding lineup after lineup, stun after stun. Coastabile, though,
Satanic.
He's got a Satanic, but he's done.
He's gonna buy back instantly.
Double buyback from SG. Invoker returns to the battlefield as well. They want to keep this skirmish going.
They want to get these mega creeps. Sven does not have a BKB. They're ready in 15. God Strength already used this Mars. And that playing amazing Dota, being able to spear him back multiple times. Glyph.
But there's no green lights anymore for Fnatic. No Supernova, no Global, no Arena, no Haunt. I'm not sure what the status of that Cataclysm's like, but I think it's a resounding no on all fronts. Range racks down, melee, the only thing separating Fnatic from dealing with mega creeps.
Oh, Lina is just pew 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 pewing from the low ground. Still not enough damage. She's very afraid. 15 seconds until BKB. Cheese is available.
Oh, the Deafening Blast. Meatball's not working out for them. Yule's on a Sand King means he's safe and sound in that BKB. He'll blink himself out. Fnatic have defended their melee barracks, but for how long? Ice Wall's annoying. And where's that creep wave? It is coming with 2 Carties.
Wukong's command. Try to zone them out. Finish the barracks.
And a BKB from Theo to make damn sure it'll fall. Mega creeps now. What Fnatic have to contend with. Theo, though, speared up. I think he'll gladly give his life to make sure that the mega creeps are coming. But
2
dead
minutes.
for 2 minutes.
2
Fnatic
minutes
now.
without Monkey. He's their source of the damage as well. Like, he uses a nullifier on someone, but the naked drone. Like, this is kind of hard to deal with. Your Spectre doesn't really outpush the waves anymore. This is not a Radiant Spectre, so it takes quite a lot of time. Mars should be the one dealing the best, especially with the Aghanim Shard upgraded on Spear. They can chill. Minute and 30 seconds. These heroes don't buy Divine Rapier. Even if you had the gold, you don't have that option. Spectre's not a Divine Rapier carrier.
Well, maybe we should have gone the DPS route on Death, but he's done such a spectacular job with this item build, setting up team fights for Raven. That would have been a bit weird going that direction. Like 56 minutes in, Oracle now. Oh, he bought BKB, and I guess he sold it again to make sure he has buyback, because nobody else in this bloody game's got it.
There's one on Sanking, one on Mars. Dire using a scan, Radiant also scanning to see what the hell is happening. Map a bit dark. They're waiting for Monkey. Monkey is keeping them in place, reducing their spell damage with that Mage Slayer. 35%. It's actually like the best item you can get on a position 4 Monkey.
Super good. We do have some potentially game-changing items coming up, though. Scythe of Vice on the Silencer. About 1,000 away. If you can just hold on for that. Oh, no, I'm crazy. He's got it.
Buyback is on cooldown for 4 minutes, so no point to save the gold.
Did he sell something?
He sold Glimmer Cape. Yeah.
Aha, okay. So I'm not so crazy. Death wants a Scythe too. Invoker working on what looks like an Octarine Core. SG, they taste blood in the water. They know that this victory is within their grasp. I mean, a 2-0
Top lane's
victory
approaching. So is bottom.
here. And Fnatic are outside of their base, not contending with the lanes. Yeah, that's where the spam pings come in. SG have realized what you have as well, Lacoste. That's where they sense weakness. And the thing is, when you are hemmed back in your base like this, you don't.
There's no glyph. Minute and 10 seconds for Fnatic.
Or do you just go God Strength?
They might just go in and end the game if they are keeping track of it.
End the game, hit the throne. Like, you don't care about vision anymore because as SG, you see all of Fnatic in their base.
All 3 lanes are in the base. Roshan may respawn in 40 seconds. SG, they don't have to, go in and try to end the game. Neutral items are spawning in the 50 seconds, so they can just hold. Fnatic will have a hard time getting out of the base and getting the tier 5 neutral items. I think the plan is to either wait for Roche to see when it's going to spawn. If it's a fast spawn, go for Roche. If it's not, take the tier 5 neutral items and just go end the game with it.
I was wondering that. Oh, but yeah, has the ninja gear.
Yeah, Glyph is ready. 5 seconds. Roche, maximum time. 2 minutes, 58 seconds.
Of course it is. Wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, that Radiant scan is a bit cheeky. They know someone's gone for a bit of a run there. Death has spent his first arena. They haunt in onto Costa Beal. The Sven is dying. He's gone without buyback. Fnatic, they're striking here into the heart of SG. Theo Lacour has been bashed by Raven. The
Sven has
gets
no
a couple
buyback,
of kills.
neither does Monkey.
The Sven and the Monkey are dead for a minute and a half each.
Oh man, this is such a big mistake. The play was maybe they're not keeping track of the glyph, but they could have went in. Lina plus Sven and Wukong's command, that's more than enough to actually just go in and end the game. Now, Fnatic picking up some tier 5 items. Also buybacks on their side. Gonna be online in minute and a half. Big mistake from SG there.
It really was. And Fnatic still have to deal with these massive creep waves coming with the mega creeps. But they are making their way out of the base. Again, 50 seconds, 70 seconds, 2 long counters that Fnatic can rely on. They've got a couple of spells here from Death as well. Having already popped his refresher, he has the arena ready. Supernova's up and running. Spectre doesn't have Haunt, but Invoker should have some cataclysms to play around with.
Spectre holding Apex, plus 70 agi. Not bad, 400 damage per hit. And 44 armor. How much is that, Gary?
Lots.
72% physical resistance.
72. Yeah, and turning all that damage around onto them with a dispersion. But Fnatic aren't going for it. They think Roshan could maybe be alive, but we as spectators know that it's the longest spawn possible. And now we've bought enough time as SG to get Lina's buyback off cooldown. Sven in 20 seconds and 550 gold.
Oh, Monkey got hexed.
Oh,
Spear.
so he did. Into the Cataclysm. Good save, though, from the False Promise. That'll keep Monkey alive a little bit longer while Tavo and Adriano trying to battle into Raven. Oh, Lina pummeling with a right-click damage, and the stuns catch Spectre dead for 2 minutes, but the buybacks are there. Fnatic can return to the battle.
Buyback. Spectre sitting at 4,000 gold. I think now it's time to buy an item. You either go for a refresher or you get the full Ags. Roshan will spawn in 3 seconds. Coastabile running out of the pit.
And we've got some tier 5 neutral items as well. Arcanist's armor, CS Stone. Oh, jeez. I was looking at items and DJ's just been annihilated.
Roshan being pinged.
Lucas bought a Raddy.
Dire's ancient is under
Yeah, I saw him struggling in the base, so he needed something to deal with the creeps. Glyph is available. They didn't pop it, so this is going to be, what, 1, 2, 3 buybacks from Fnatic.
Oh, there's a Stygian Desolator over in the Dire neutral stash. Refresher shard on the floor. Cheese not being picked up. KJ, just drop something. I don't know.
Send back the flicker.
Come on.
Drop the dust.
You surely can't leave this in the pit.
Okay. For a second, I thought they were, lactose intolerant. No one wanted to pick up the cheese. Now refresher on Sanking. And Oracle picked up the Aghanim Scepter, which means Fate's Edict no longer causes you allies to be disarmed or enemies to be magic immune.
That's pretty cool. Especially on that Sven. Another free BKB for him. Well, like you've been saying, Fnatic, they've got that glyph ready.
That's their 6th player right now.
Uh-huh. Because Adriano's coming for you. There's the burrow. Landing onto Chwen. And Coastabile aiming the Invoker. That's a nice arena from Death with a Supernova behind it. So Chwen's still alive thanks to his BKB, but your throne is dying. Death needs to get so much more done. In comes Theo with the Wukong's commander. Circles everywhere. Mars Arena and the Wukongs as they finish off Chwen, who buys back immediately with a massive Cataclysm, but it's not going to bring anyone down.
Oh,
the throne is falling. They're
is
focusing
dying.
it. And SG are going to be able to bring this down, surely, with Tavo and Coastabile getting a stun down to land, and game 2, another victory for SG.
Oh man, what a game. Like this series had a couple of mistakes, a bit of a throws, but overall very, very entertaining. First game, Thinker managed to make a comeback. This time around, like, it was back and forth. Couple of times you see Spectre going in on Sven, and then just Sven dying immediately. Mars had a really good performance because he was the only stun that could hold Sven enough in place to, there's later on an Abyssal Blade, but it had to come down to that into Cataclysm. They needed something. In the end, Lina as a core just pops off completely. Like, Lina doesn't go for Aghanim Scepter, no shards, just straight up damage Satanic to be able to stand the ground, keep spamming good. The spells have that 3 fiery soul attacks.
Machine gun Lina.
Yeah, exactly. I think we also got to give credit to Tavo. He played really well on Sanking. Had a couple of failed ultis, but it has to happen. You can't have a perfect game. And Tioli Core on Monkey King, like his itemization, I think it was pretty top notch going for that Mage Slayer for them to deal less damage, getting a BKB, no boots, pretty standard, I would say. Then getting a Nullifier to be able to deal with the Glimmer Capes, the Force Staffs, even forced DJ to sell his Glimmer Cape by a Hex because there was no real usage of it.
Well, that's a great way to start our day. We do have a little bit of a break, so Lacoste and I will be back later, but your next caster pair will be up shortly. A quick break before your next series, so we'll see you guys later on.